the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
This is such a significant
officially
move.
accepted.
USC being a massive national brand.
Big moments.
Let's go. USC wins it.
Big stars.
Juju Watkins. Get out of town. Juju Watkins.
Big stage.
Zachariah Branch. How do you do?
Welcome, Trojans, to the Big Ten. Get your tickets at usctrojans.com/tickets and follow the Trojans on ESPN LA all year long.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
ESPN 710, Los Angeles Sports.
And it is the biggest show on the radio. Mason and Ireland is on for your Friday afternoon.
You like to soak or you like to poke?
And this is... okay.
Here we go, a feel-good Friday, and as Mace would say, an F-it Friday.
It's Friday.
Of course, Mace is on vacation. Shocking. The great Marcus Grant from the NFL Network, the fantasy football guru, is here sitting in for Mace. Plus, is Corporate Greg all worn out from 3 hours of Travis and Sliwa? Or will he make a pop-in? I know where he is going to be popping in this afternoon at Hollywood Park Casino for our fantasy football draft party starting at 4 p.m. with Shinato and Cappy. Meanwhile, producer Wars here, producer Brian Cohen. Let's get to the Friday festivities, Jack. The biggest show on the radio celebrating 20 years at ESPN LA. Mason and Ireland, your Friday afternoon right now.
Bah! Death growl there, Marcus. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mason and Ireland. Last day without Mace. He'll be back on Monday, and we are lucky to have our friend Marcus Grant from the NFL Network. How you been, man?
Fantastic, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. We got a lot to get to, and if you didn't hear Super Crosstalk at 3 o'clock today, happy birthday, Kobe Bryant. Would have been 46 today, I believe. And at 3 o'clock, we're going to play the last 3 minutes of Kobe's last game, which is, I always have a question I always ask Marcus when I'm asking famous people, mostly retired people, I say, or like an actor or somebody, I'll say, hey, 100 years from now, somebody opens a time capsule, and in it is an example of your work. Okay. It can be, if it's an actor, it can be a play, a movie. In your case, you've been on network TV, you've been doing a lot of radio. What goes in? Like, what's a small example of your work? Right. Do you know the answer to that yet? You're pretty young. You still get most of your career ahead of you.
Yeah, I don't think I do.
Yeah. So anyway, I didn't pre-hit you with it. So right. Yeah, I kind of threw it at you. For me, this is it. What you're going to hear at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm closer to the end of my career than the beginning. Of all the things I've ever done, it's the most fun I've had. It's the most surreal thing that ever happened. I've covered 8 NBA finals. I like this more than any of them.
Yeah.
And it's the last 3 minutes of Kobe's last game. You'll hear it at 3 o'clock. A lot to get to. Dodgers back in action tonight. Oh, by the way, speaking of the Lakers, I want to invite everybody out to Dodger Stadium tomorrow night. I get to do kind of a cool thing. So it's Lakers weekend at Dodger Stadium. Today's Kobe's birthday. They're giving away I think it's a Kobe. It's either a Kobe shirt or Kobe. They got a Kobe giveaway on Sunday.
Right.
And on Saturday, throwing out the first pitch at Dodger Stadium for a 6 o'clock first pitch is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy, Byron Scott, Michael Thompson, Kurt Rambis, and AC Green, all of them, throwing out the first pitch. So they invited me to come out and interview all 7 of them on top of the Dodger dugout before the game.
Very nice.
So if you want to see that, go out to Dodger Stadium on Saturday night. I'm going to be with the captain and with Big Game James and then Byron, Michael, Kurt, AC, and most of all, the guy I'm most anxious to start to talk to is Michael Cooper, who will be there because Coop just got into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He's going in October. So they'll all be there Saturday night at Dodger Stadium for the Dodgers and Rays, and they're all going to throw out the first pitch. And if you want to hear a Q&A with them before the game, get there by 4:30 because that's when I'm going to do it on top of the Dodger dugout. So that's item number 1. Item number 2, I'm glad you're here, man, because football season is upon us.
It's for real now.
This will be next Friday. We actually have a game, but coming up this Monday will be this weekend. This whole weekend will be the last weekend without football until
real football. Yeah, I mean, we have football like
the
substance.
Super Bowl.
So,
yeah,
yes,
I mean, but football is back, and so I saw this, and I knew you were coming in today, and I thought it was kind of fun, so I decided to throw it in. If Mason were here, he would tell you that I tend to mispronounce certain words. Okay. Like for example, before the Rose Bowl game in the morning, through the streets of Pasadena, they have what?
A parade. Okay.
I say that word. I have my whole life. I don't know why. I know it's wrong. I say that word as one syllable. You said
parade?
You said it correctly. A parade.
So you're missing that first A is what it is.
Yes, I just say, I'm going to the Rose Bowl parade.
Parade.
And Mason will go, what'd you call it? It's a Rose Bowl parade. So this is another one of those words. Okay? So, Laura, Brian, I already told Marcus about this. Write this down. Okay? Write down this word. Ready?
Yep.
Crayon. Okay? The things you color with when you're a little kid.
Okay.
Right.
Laura, how do you pronounce that word?
Crayon.
Brian?
I would say crayon.
Okay. 2 different
All right.
pronunciations.
Okay.
Marcus, how would you say it?
Crayon.
I'm with Brian. I'm even worse. I've said, hey, give me that. Mason says, what are you pronouncing? Instead of crayon, I say, just give me the crown.
You know what? I had one of my good friends that when we were kids, he used to pronounce it like that. And I used to be confused as hell all the time.
You are not the only one, my friend. In honor of you and your friends at the NFL Network, this came up on Good Morning Football. Their morning show just moved to L.A. It used to be in New York. This is Jamie Erdahl and Kyle Brandt and Peter Schrager and Akbar Bajabiamila, who we love.
Yes,
we
100%.
Okay, they're discussing this. And it goes down exactly how it just went down with us. Brian hit it.
Can all of you guys try to say this word? Say this word. Let's start with you, Kyle. How would you say this word?
That's an easy one. It's one syllable. Crayon.
Thank you. Akbar.
Crayon.
Crayon. Jamie, what do you say?
Crayon.
Crayon?
Okay.
Crayon.
So 3 of us say
cranberry?
crayon.
Like the berry.
So.
I think it's a crayon. I think it's crayon. My son is like, it's crayon.
Yeah.
It's crayon, you idiot. I'm like, no. It's crayon. It is crayon. And then my wife chimes in. She's like, it's crayon. And I'm like, oh, so it's 2 against 1. And then I've got a 1-year-old daughter, and she's like, gaga goo goo, it's crayon. So I'm defending my. I think it's crayon. Akbar,
Crayon.
you say crayon as well,
No,
right?
it's crayon. Let me just please look at your board, please. Tell me where you see a C-R-A-N. There's a Y in there. Crayon.
All right. I'm a one-syllable pronunciator on this. But Marcus, isn't Akbar right? There's a Y in the word.
There's a Y and an O. The
Crayon.
Like
Crayon.
So how do you pronounce the company that is famous for making crayons?
Crayola.
Right?
Right.
Like,
well, that should end the debate.
You say the cray and
so
the Ola,
Brian,
so
how
why
the hell
not?
have you and I been mispronouncing this word for our entire lives?
I have no idea. When I heard this story come up too, I didn't even realize people said it different ways. I just thought it was crayon. Like I thought the whole thing was.
For me, so I said crayon, but I was talking to, it might have been Greg. People mispronounce clothes.
What's the word?
Clothes.
See, I don't say the TH.
You're so, okay, I don't either.
Laura, spell that word.
Clothes, C-L-O-T-H-E-S.
Clothes.
Yeah. So
how do people mispronounce
that? So I
that?
say clothes. I don't pronounce the TH, right? Like,
Right.
It's like close, whatever. Bring me the clothes. Whatever.
Like a closer, like
Yeah.
Mariano Rivera.
I'm gonna go. Yeah. Close the door,
So-
buy some clothes. It all sounds
I
the
was
same.
I was in a class, in a broadcaster class, and my professor's like, "You guys all pronounce that word incorrectly," and I'm like, "Okay, how are we supposed to pronounce it?" He's like, "Close."
Yeah,
I
it's
was
not
like,
like
what's
Marcus,
weird?
That sounds so difficult.
If you,
It does.
if I'm having a heart attack and we call the paramedics, the vehicle that comes over to get me is called what?
The ambulance.
See, I say ambulance.
No, ambulance.
I mean, if I'm being silly, I'll just say the amber lamps, but that's something different.
Yeah, but isn't that weird how like Brian and I, completely for the most part normal people, have been
most part,
mispronouncing crayon for our entire lives.
I honestly thought I had never met anybody besides my friend who said crown until just this moment.
Me.
Until now.
Tell
That's
your
funny.
friend next time you talk to him, he's got company. All right, coming up next, if you don't know, Marcus sits in most days, almost every day, on the Blue Review with Bergman. They talk a lot of Dodgers, and for the life of me, I've had a night to sleep on it now. I do not understand this Jason Hayward move. I'm going to get into it with Marcus next. He's in for Mace. Brian's here. Laura's here. Mason in Ireland, ESPN LA.
Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
The fun way to drive home on 710.
The line for Sedano's unit is all smooth purple, and Cap's got
I figured
little
it would.
red bumps in it.
I've never known it to be specific, but I figured it would be smooth purple.
I can confirm.
I'll show you a picture.
Well, the fact that you have a picture is also concerning.
Oh, Jesus.
The LA Afternoon Takeover with Sedano.
All right, George, fantasy football season is here, and I got to be honest with you, I don't know what to do in the first round. Come on, help a brother out. Help me out.
I mean, listen, there's a few running backs that you can take, very few, because there's not a lot of running backs that get the full carries. But, wide receivers. How about like Justin Jefferson?
Okay, now, listen, if I can get Justin Jefferson, I'll take Justin Jefferson.
Well, but he doesn't have a quarterback yet. Unless you trust Sam Darnold.
Well, I don't even know how to play. So listen, the bottom line for me is I got major problems. I don't know what to do in the first round. I don't know when to get a quarterback. Last time I played fantasy football, I took a kicker in the first round. I mean, I like kickers. What can I tell you? I like kickers.
I mean, all right, enough with this guy, all right? You know what you need to do? Go to Hollywood Park Casino, join me and this guy, and you'll draft better than both of us probably when it comes to our fantasy football draft party, all right? Julamea, back to you.
Thanks, Sedano and Cap. We're inside Century Bar and Grill. Experience delicious food and your favorite cocktails. Plus, an extra bonus for our fantasy draft players. Get a $10 match bet to play No Bust Blackjack. All here at Hollywood Park Casino. Park, party, and play.
Driving with America's best warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty, and the Hyundai Assurance Program. Cardin Alleyway Hyundai just off the 91 freeway in the Corona Auto Center, or CardinAlleyWayHyundai.com. Lease for $319 plus tax. License and fee to well-qualified buyers. 36-month lease. 12K miles per year. $39.99 due at signing. Not all buyers will qualify. Down payment may be required. Subject to HMF credit approval. Expires 9/03/2024.
Are you tired of looking at your old, grimy, and mildewy bathtub? Looking to replace it with a beautiful walk-in shower, but cash is tight? For as little as $89 a month, no payments for 12 months for consumers who qualify. Remodeling Loans can put you into a beautiful new walk-in shower in as little as 1 day. You can rest easy knowing that Remodeling Loans, a network of certified contractors screened and handpicked by us, offers premier products, top-rated service, and value, increasing the beauty, safety, and value of your home. A new walk-in shower will also provide you with a germ-free, slip-resistant, safe, and beautiful new bathroom. Call 800-921-1403 and take advantage of our holiday special of free installation. Our agents are standing by, ready to schedule your appointment with our design team at no cost and no obligation to you. All callers will receive a free upgrade of premium colors just for calling today. A beautiful new walk-in shower is now within reach. Call 800-921-1403. That's 800-921-1403.
And it is Mason and Ireland, your Friday afternoon. Marcus Grant sitting in for Mace, who I think is back Monday. Maybe. And don't forget, this afternoon at 4 p.m., you'll hear it on the radio. The ESPN LA Fantasy Football Draft Party at Hollywood Park Casino. Shinato, Cappy, Corporate Greg, myself, Kirk Morrison, plus Marcus Grant, who's literally on the radio right now, is going to make an appearance. Plus producer Lindsay Baseball. Don't miss out. Hollywood Park Casino, 4 to 7 p.m., the live broadcast this afternoon. Right now, though, Mason in Ireland with Marcus Grant and Johnny I continues on 710.
Thank you, Chris Morales. And so, Marcus, you got a full plate today. We're putting you to work.
Yeah, for people who are sick of me, you get more me. It's awesome.
I love it. We like you around here. Okay, so I was saying earlier that Marcus is one of the guys that brings you the Blue Review every morning. So you follow the Dodgers closer than I do. So I want to ask you this question.
Okay.
Explain DFA Jason Hayward. It came down to 4 guys. It came down to Kike, Chris Taylor, Kevin Kiermaier, or Jason Hayward. I assumed, Marcus, and again, I don't watch as many games as you, but Kike and Taylor to me appear to fill the same role. They're multi-positional. They're both struggling at the plate. They're both right-handed.
Yeah.
Hayward is some left-handed pop off the bench, very popular in the clubhouse, Freddie Freeman's best friend. I thought for sure it was either Taylor or Kike. What am I missing?
I don't think you're missing much of anything. I mean, I think your explanation there was right on the nose, and I think it caught a lot of us by surprise. There were rumblings that it could happen. I was joking earlier in the week that every time it seems like a Dodger player is close to being DFA'd or traded, that player turns into the greatest hitter ever. I mean, Gavin Lux, he was out the door in June. Now he's like their best hitter.
Greg even wanted to get rid of him, and now he's won Greg over.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And Bergman's on board. I mean, even Jason Hayward a couple days ago, we were talking about will he be DFA'd? Then he hits a big 3-run homer to help him win a couple of nights ago. So I think it kind of caught everybody by surprise. I feel like the Dodgers felt like they had to make a move. They've got a lot of money tied up in Chris Taylor, so he's going to stay.
You took me where I want to go.
Yeah.
$13 million in sports terms is not that much money, but it is $13 million.
It's not insignificant.
Chris Taylor is on the books for this year and then $13 million more next year.
Yeah.
Hayward's contract is up this season. Is it simple as it was a financial decision?
I think it is, which is a weird thing to say about a team that spent $1 billion
and gave $700 million to one guy. Yeah.
Right? It seems like a weird thing to say, but I do think that had a lot to do with it. I was sort of surprised, and Greg and I talked about this on Blue Review this morning, that maybe they didn't just try to hang on for another week or 10 days. You get to September, you expand the rosters, you have more room, maybe to kind of keep both of those guys. If you've decided you're bringing up Chris Taylor and you want to hold on to Kike, why not wait till rosters expand and see if you can find room for Hayward?
Keep Taylor on the injured list for another few days.
Just, hey, man, we'll just extend this out a little bit. We'll let you rehab somewhere, and then we can sort of keep everybody happy. Because, to your point, Jason Hayward is a nice pop off the bench. He's a nice left-handed bat you can use. And on top of being Freddie Freeman's best friend, I think he brings a fire to this clubhouse that's been missing the last couple of postseasons.
I wonder, and I'm curious to your opinion on this. Hayward's older.
Yes.
I think they're going to use the extra roster spot. You talked about September 1st when rosters expand. I think they're going to use the extra roster spot on Andy Pages. I think they're going to bring him back up. So if you look at it from that lens, it's either Andy Pages or Jason Hayward. Does age come into it? In other words, Pages is on the rise. Mm-hmm. His best days are ahead of him. Hayward's best days are behind him. Is that have anything to do with this?
Maybe a little bit. I think, though, Andy Pages, yes, he's a younger player. I think they have big hopes for him. And he started the season really well.
Right.
Started to slump a little bit before he got sent back down. I think the problem with Pages right now is where do you put him if he's not hitting? He's not anything close to the defensive center fielder that Kevin Kiermaier is.
Right.
Your corner outfield spots are locked up with Mookie in right and Teoscar in left. So if Pages isn't hitting, it's really hard to justify putting him in the lineup right now.
Has the game changed in this sense? It used to be that the idea of not having a left-handed bat off your bench late would make zero sense. But now there isn't as much righty-lefty. There isn't as the analytics kind of have corrected back the other way.
Yeah.
There's some guy like you're not taking Freddie Freeman out no matter what.
No.
If the guy's pitching with his leg, you're not taking Freddie Freeman out. They're not going to have a left-handed bat with pop off the bench, especially if Kiermaier's in the game late, and you figure he will be, even if he doesn't start, he'll be in there late for a defensive replacement. This leaves him no left-handed bat off the bench. Is that something or nothing?
I think it's something. I think it's just nice to be able to sort of have that in your back pocket, and especially when you get to the postseason where managers are playing a little bit more 3D chess, and you're trying to force the other side to maybe burn an arm, to use a pinch hitter where you don't need to. I do think that's going to be something that's missing, and I still really truly believe the intangibles of what he brings to the clubhouse mean a lot, because one of the big criticisms of this team the last couple years in the postseason has been, while things are going badly, it just doesn't seem like there's that guy to light the fire, to kind of kick guys in the butt. And one of the things we know about Jason Hayward, you talk to that Cubs team that won the World Series, they will all tell you to a man that he gave a speech during that rain delay of Game 7
yeah.
that got that team. They credit that with getting them over the hump, getting them past Cleveland and winning. And I just think that's something that would be invaluable for this Dodger team.
Settle an argument we had yesterday when Ramona was here.
Okay.
Ramona was in here. Greg was in here. Ramona feels, and I'm indifferent. You've seen him play much more than I have. Ramona thinks that Walker Buehler is getting close, and she points to the velocity. His velocity is back to normal. Greg says his control is so all over the map that he can't see a scenario where Buehler is on the postseason roster. What do you think?
It's hard to envision him being on the postseason roster right now, because you look at when everybody's healthy, your top three starters are going to be Tyler Glasnow, Jack Flaherty, Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Yeah, and that's it in the playoffs. You only need three.
You only need three, right? You still have to figure out a space for Gavin Stone. You have to figure out the way Kershaw has pitched his last 2 or 3 outings.
I was just going to say, if Yamamoto doesn't come back, doesn't Kershaw get a playoff start?
I mean, yeah, his last 2 or 3 starts have been good enough that you've got to find room for him. Then you figure out your bullpen guys. You've got 5 or 6 bullpen guys that are for sure locked in. Walker Buehler is very much on the bubble. Bobby Miller is very much on the bubble. I think like Miller tonight is going against the Rays. We'll get another look at him to see if he can kind of get himself right. But as of this moment, it's really hard to make a case for Walker Buehler. If he can figure himself out between now and the end of September, maybe we revisit this conversation, but October is not the place to figure yourself out.
All right, coming up next, we're going to spin the wheel of questions. Oh, but you know what? Before I get to that, can I make the argument that the National League West quietly has become baseball's best division?
I don't think it's very quiet at all.
Beginning of the year, you never would have said that. You would have pointed to, probably the American League East with all those teams, or even the National League East, now, between the Diamondbacks, the Padres, and the Dodgers, isn't the National League West the division to beat?
I mean, as of this moment, they have 3 playoff teams.
Right.
Right now they do. And I thought the Padres would be good. I thought they'd be competitive. I thought the Diamondbacks were kind of a fluke. I thought they snuck up on people last year, but they have something going.
I'm buddies with Eric Karros, who does maybe 20, 25 Dodger games a year. Mm-hmm. And he told me a long time ago, he played college baseball at UCLA with Torey Lovello, who manages the Diamondbacks. And he said, do not sleep on that dude. He's smart. He's competitive. He will have that team ready. It did not surprise Karros that the Diamondbacks made it to the World Series.
Wow.
And it surprised me.
Yeah, it surprised everybody.
Yeah, it didn't surprise him. He says Lovello is that guy. He goes, he's gonna if he wants to. What Eric told me was, if he wants to, he'll be a manager for the rest of his career.
Wow.
I mean, he's that good. So, but that's interesting. I'm glad you think so. I think all of a sudden, the National League West is now better. I mean, you look at that American League East between the Yankees and the Orioles, and they're both loaded. But after that, there's a drop-off.
There's a big drop-off. I mean, we talked about those 3 teams, the Dodgers, Diamondbacks, and Padres. I mean, the Giants right now, probably not in playoff contention, but I'm looking, they'd be the number 2 team in the NL Central. They'd be very much in contention in the NL East. They're 11.5 games back in the West, but even the Giants have been competitive this year.
Yeah, it's a great division. It's really fun to watch the Dodgers these days. It's been not just for Shohei, but for everything. It's been really fun. All right, coming up next, we'll spin the wheel of questions. Laura's got the wheel. And remember, even last year, where if you're an NBA fan, you've got the premier franchise in the world, the Lakers, here in Los Angeles. And if you can't afford to go see a Laker game, you could always go see the Clippers for a reasonable price. Those days are over. And I'll explain coming up next. Marcus Grant in for Mason and Ireland, ESPN LA.
The LA Kings have a new home.
Hear the excitement of Kings hockey this season.
This fall, 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app.
is your home for every moment of the Los Angeles Kings. Hear the excitement of Kings hockey this season in only one place. Easy to access, easy to find, easy to enjoy every Kings game and your favorite Kings podcasts.
710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app.
Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S, Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S, Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS or go online at carsforkids.org to donate today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S, Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Paid for by Cars for Kids.
Hey, it's Travis.
And Slee. By now you have heard about our good friends at the law office of Joseph S. Normand.
When my son Bobby was in an accident, we called Joe and he hit it out of the park. That's why I trust Joe.
No insurance company is ever on your side. Anything you say to them can and will be used against you. Joe and his team will treat you like family, get you the medical attention you need, and the max compensation you deserve.
Call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com.
The law office of Joseph S. Normand.
This summer, get away in the Hyundai you've always wanted at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get the hottest deals of the season on many of our award-winning Hyundai models, which all come with America's best warranty. But get going, because these deals won't last. Add more joy to your journey at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now for a limited time, get 1.99% APR for 60 months on the Hyundai Tucson or Elantra. Hurry into the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Offers end September 3rd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Something amazing is happening in networking. Organizations are scaling with less stress. That's because CDW is designing and implementing intelligent HPE Aruba networking solutions that simplify and secure operations. With automation at the center of your data center, growing pains can be a thing of the past. HPE Aruba Networking and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Aruba.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
And it is the biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland, here each weekday, 1 to 4 p.m. You know what it's time for? What is this? It's time for Wheel of Questions. Producer Brian Cohen, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it, Jack.
All right, different question now. All right. Okay. Well, it landed on a personal one, so it is what it is. So it was a different one. It was a rot.
Yeah, you've had two personals in a row.
Yeah, that's why I was like, we had a different one, but the wheel wasn't there yet. Okay, so today, as I was leaving my apartment complex, we park underground, and our gate is automatic, and it wouldn't open. I was like, why is there so much traffic? Kind of got out. There was like 10 of us in line trying to exit. We were a little bit annoyed. After 15 minutes, somebody came and manually opened that door. I'm headed to work. I was a little bit annoyed because I was not in the time frame that I wanted to be here at work. And as I'm getting to the freeway, I see a bad accident. Like just a really bad accident. So I couldn't even get on the freeway. I had to go around. So my mom always said, don't be mad. Don't get upset if something doesn't go your way the first time because you probably avoided something happening to you. So I'm a firm believer that
you think the stuck gate kept you out of that accident?
I do believe in that. So I wanted to know, do you guys believe in that situation? One of my friends one time got cut off by like a person at the grocery store, and they were having a promotion, and she won whatever the promotion was because that person cut her off. So do you guys believe in that?
100% I believe in fate. I think that fate and karma are real. Can I prove it, Marcus? Absolutely not. Here's an interesting. My dad was an Irishman, fun-loving, died a week before his 84th birthday, and I'm on a father-son trip to Ireland maybe 10 years before he died. And I'm walking in front, and we're out pub hopping in Dublin, and me and the other son are walking about 20 yards ahead of the dads.
Okay.
And we're several drinks in, but we're just walking back to the hotel. And one of those like whisper quiet trains goes whipping right down the tracks behind me, and I know there's another one coming. And I turn around to my dad and I say, "Hey, stop, wait for the train." And my dad and his buddy are like, they just keep walking. They don't hear me. I go, "Stop." And they're, "What?" And finally I go, "I see the train coming now." And I turn around, and as loud as I can, I just go, "Stop!" And they both jump back, and the train whizzes 2 feet in front of them. They both would have been killed.
Wow.
Both would have been dead. And then, of course, they just start laughing and keep walking. So the next morning, I go, "How did you didn't hear me the first 2 times?" And my dad goes, "Let me tell you something. God takes care of babies and drunks." And I went, okay, but that was a fancy way of saying there's forces at work bigger than us. I actually believe it. How about you?
So I believe in kind of an offshoot of that. I mean, maybe this is because I am a nerd and a comic book guy, but like I sort of believe in like the multiverse theory, right? That every decision you make, there is a universe where you make the opposite decision or make another choice that would have sort of impacted your day or your life. So it's things like the garage door getting stuck, or you know what? Instead of taking the freeway, I'm going to take the streets today. And like the choice that you didn't make, somewhere out here in the universe, there's a version of you that made that choice, and who knows what happened to you going forward.
Brian, what do you think? Are we all full of it?
Oh, no, not full of it. I'm on board. Both you guys 100%. It's similar to like the fake karma. I couldn't really think of anything like specifically, but big time into the karma.
Yeah.
If you do something nice, it's going to come back to you. If you do something bad, you're going to get hit. Whatever it is, I believe in it fully.
You know, I was talking about my dad. He born in Northern Ireland, didn't come over here until he was almost 30. Had no discernible skills, just loved America and stayed here. And then he met my mom and had me. He the one thing he beat into me his whole life, and I firmly believe it, I said it at his eulogy, is whatever is happening in your life. Like, Laura, you had a weird morning.
Yes.
Whatever is happening in your life, always fall back on this, the golden rule. Treat everybody how you would like to be treated. That doesn't mean you have to be out there handing out money and doing people favors and carrying old ladies across the street. It doesn't. It just means be kind. Be sensitive that somebody else might not be having the best day. Do what you can, and it will come back to you. And I've always tried to live that way.
Yeah.
That when I meet somebody or when I'm dealing with somebody sitting next to somebody on a plane, I always, if I sense they don't want to talk, I shut up. If I sense that they want to engage, I engage.
Yeah.
Treat other people the way you would like to be treated, and you will be shocked how often things work out.
Yeah, it's funny you say it that way, too, because my first thought as you were going through that, and I know the golden rule and everything, but my first thought was, generally, I don't want to be bothered, so I'm not going to bother other people.
Right. Which is fine. Which is
know?
fine. You are treating other people the way you would like to be treated.
Exactly.
You don't know it, but you're living by the golden rule.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, let me get this Clippers thing in here and ask you guys something. So, as you know, we're fortunate here in Los Angeles that we have two professional almost everything. We have two NFL teams, we have two baseball teams, we have two hockey teams, and we have two basketball teams.
Yes.
The Lakers and the Clippers. Up until right now, the Clippers have been the low-cost alternative for basketball fans in Southern California.
Yeah.
You can't afford season tickets to the Lakers, your Clippers are 1/4 the price. You want to go see Giannis play, and you look at the Laker tickets, and they're $500 a ticket. You can get into the Clipper game for $50, and you can go see Giannis. It's always been an option. Marcus, those days are over.
That's what I heard.
the Clippers move into the Intuit Dome, which Mason went to see Bruno Mars, and he says it's spectacular.
That was fantastic. Yep.
Yep. It cost $2 billion to build it. It might be the best arena in the world. According to Ticketmaster, as of yesterday, seats in the 100 level for the Clippers home opener range from $386 to $577. It's almost sold out, and it has 18,000 seats. So I think the new arena is going to be great. I can't wait to do a game in there. I have a lot of friends that work for the Clippers. I'm excited that those guys get to, go to this shiny new palace every day.
Right.
But is it a good thing or a bad thing that the casual fan, the fan on a budget, can no longer afford to go to an NBA game?
I think it's a bad thing. I think it's a bad thing across sports. I mean, we see it in a lot of places. And I think let's be honest here, right? The Clippers are, as you mentioned, they've always sort of been the alternative, right? I mean,
right.
there are two things that I think unites everybody pretty much in LA, and it's the Dodgers and the Lakers. But then there are other options for you if you just want to go out and have a night of entertainment that you could do. I am old enough that I remember the Clippers playing in the sports arena.
Where you could get in for $10, literally.
I was a USC student, and we would walk across Exposition Park to get to Clipper games because for that reason you mentioned, when the big teams came to town, there was no chance we were seeing the 90s Bulls at the Forum. We just couldn't afford it as college students.
Right.
We could see them at the sports arena. We could do all those things. And so, yeah, part of me sort of hurts for folks who aren't going to have that opportunity. I am curious to see how long this lasts. If this is I think the first season is going to be like this because it's going to be brand new.
You're 100% right. When the Ducks opened what we used to call the Pond.
Yes.
I think it's now the Honda Center.
Is it still Honda Center?
Yeah. Yes.
It used to be the Arrowhead Pond.
Yes.
The water company sponsored them.
Yes.
And you could not get in that first year. And the Ducks were terrible because that building was so nice. Mm-hmm. And everybody couldn't wait to get in there and see it. And you're right. I'll compare it to, have you been to the Sphere yet in Vegas?
I've never been inside of it.
Okay, wait till you go.
Okay.
It'll change the way you think about concerts.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put it this way. The days of bands standing on a stage playing instruments and singing are over.
Okay.
This changes the whole concert experience. It's a light show, it's a story, and it's a concert all at the same time. If you can afford it and you have a chance to go, great.
Right.
So U2 opened it. To get in, I got in because I have a friend who's a ticket broker and he hooked me up. Mm-hmm. But to get in was like $1,000. The Eagles are coming. It's going to be the same way. In 2 to 3 years, it'll be more affordable. And I think you're right. In 2 to 3 years, I'm guessing that when everybody's been to the Intuit Dome and has seen it, like Brian, you're a good example of this. You had never been to SoFi, and you waited until somebody hooked you up with tickets, and you got to go 2 weeks ago, and it was probably fun for you.
Oh,
right?
fell in love. Yeah, I'm dying to go back now.
It's amazing. No, this is great.
It is awesome.
But you didn't jump at, I got to see it, the first year the
so
Rams were in it, where you would have paid,
Right.
it would have cost you and Allison your first house payment.
Right, exactly.
So this is my long way of saying, if you're an NBA fan and you've always taken advantage of the fact that, yeah, the Lakers are expensive, but you had the Clippers as a low-cost option, Marcus is right. Just wait. Just wait. Because next year, maybe 2 years from now, we'll see, you'll be able to get in there and see it. And from what I hear, it'll be worth it. I think that everybody I've talked to, that the seats are like, they're so.
I hear they're wide.
They're airplane
they're
seats.
They're spacious.
Yeah, I heard they're really nice.
Every seat has a charger,
which is amazing.
It's cash free, so when you download the app and you order food, you can either walk up and pick it up or they'll bring it to your seat.
According to Mace, the app wasn't working, so everything was free that night.
That was that one day. That was that one day.
Right.
That was one day.
Yeah, Steve Ballmer's a really smart guy, and I think it'll be a great experience. And they're going to have to work the kinks out. I said the first time I went to SoFi, they didn't have the food right. They didn't have the parking right.
Yeah.
Everything, there were some hiccups. It's a lot more efficient now. Brian, did you have any trouble getting in and out?
Getting in and out, no trouble at all.
Yes,
and
it's
it was
better
pretty
now.
packed. I mean, it was almost at capacity.
The food is still.
The food was a
still
little
work
iffy.
in progress.
The food.
a little salty.
And for people out there listening, Kevin Demoff, the COO of the Rams, is not a good guy, a great guy.
Yeah, he is.
And Kevin's on it.
Okay.
He knows that there are food issues, and he's working with the vendors. And Kevin's now running all of Kroenke Sports, so he's running the Nuggets.
Okay.
He's running the Avalanche. He's running the Rams. we've got the right guy in charge, and he'll get it right. It'll take some time. But, yeah, the food options are limited, and you got to wait too long, and they'll get better.
If
I hope so.
If you want to reach out to Kevin and see if he's looking for somebody who wants to taste food,
there you go.
I'm totally available.
We are available.
I'm 100% available.
You know, Marcus,
for that.
he's that guy. He may take you up on it.
John,
All right.
I have a quick question for you guys because I know people that were season ticket holders for the Clippers. They've been fans.
They've been priced out.
Not priced out. They just didn't want to do the drive. Like they didn't want to do the drive because they live closer to where my mom is in West Covina, and these are older adults. You know,
Right.
I know the son, and they were like, I just don't want to go into Inglewood because there's SoFi, there's this, there's that, there's so many things now that it's so congested. And I ripped them a new one because I said, why would you give up those tickets? You probably got a better deal than anybody coming in.
Right.
And then you could have sold and made money. He's like, we were giving tickets away for the Clippers when we
For years.
For years,
and
sure.
he's like, we were not going to make money. I'm like, but this is new.
This is the year you would have made money on them.
That's exactly what I said. And she goes, man, she smacks her husband. She goes, dang, I should have talked to her first.
I will tell you this, Laura, in response to that story. I obviously, because of my job, know hundreds, if not thousands, of Laker fans.
Mm-hmm.
I have never, ever met a Laker fan who hasn't, when they give up their tickets, they always come back to me and say, I wish I wouldn't have done that. They always regret it. Now, in some cases, it was a financial thing. They just couldn't afford them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different story. But if you can afford it, the Lakers are, I tell people all the time, going to a typical NBA game, you're going to a game.
Mm-hmm.
Going to a Laker game is an event.
It's an experience. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And again, I'm going to keep promoting this. Coming up today in an hour at 3 o'clock, we're going to play the last 3 minutes of Kobe Bryant's career. Those are the type of memories you get if you're a Laker fan. So if you can afford it and you're a Laker fan, don't give up your tickets because they never go long without being uber competitive. Right now, it's your last chance to see LeBron.
Yeah.
He could retire next year. You know, he's going to play this year. So, I mean, hang on to your tickets if you can afford them. Coming up next, Sports Graffiti. Your chance to sound off about anything you want. Anything we've talked about in this first hour. You can ask Marcus fantasy questions, NFL Network questions. You can ask me Laker questions. Anything you want. It's your chance now. Open the phones, Laura. 877-710-ESPN. 877-710-3776. Your calls next. Marcus Grant in for Mason in Ireland, ESPN LA.
A quest for League's Cup glory just got real for the black and gold.
All right, George. Fantasy football season is here, and I got to be honest with you. I don't know what to do in the first round. Come on, help a brother out. Help me out.
I mean, listen, there's a few running backs that you can take, very few, because there's not a lot of running backs that get the full carries. But, wide receivers. How about Justin Jefferson?
Okay, now, listen, if I can get Justin Jefferson, I'll take Justin Jefferson.
Well, but he doesn't have a quarterback now. Unless you trust Sam Darnold.
Well, I don't even know how to play. So, listen, the bottom line for me is I got major problems. I don't know what to do in the first round. I don't know when to get a quarterback. Last time I played fantasy football, I took a kicker in the first round. I mean, I like kickers. What can I tell you? I like kickers.
All right, enough with this guy, all right? You know what you need to do? Go to Hollywood Park Casino, join me and this guy, and you'll draft better than both of us probably when it comes to our fantasy football draft party, all right? Julamea, back to you.
Thanks to Dano and Cap, we're inside Century Bar and Grill. Experience delicious food and your favorite cocktails. Plus, an extra bonus for our fantasy draft players. Get a $10 match bet to play No Bust Blackjack. All here at Hollywood Park Casino. Park, party, and play.
15-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles, and we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
All right, Mason and Ireland, Marcus Grant sitting in for Mace. It's time for Sports Graffiti. You can sound off about anything you want. 877-710-ESPN. 877-710-3776. Here we go. Stan, you're hitting leadoff. You're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, John, this one's for you, right in your wheelhouse. You know that the Korn Ferry Tour is how you basically get into the PGA Tour, right?
Right.
That's how it's set up now. To get into the Korn Ferry Tour, there's 4 tournaments, including a pre-qualifier, right?
Yeah.
And you have to go through all 4 levels. What do you think, at the end of the day, you pay as an entry fee to get into all 4 of those tournaments?
You have to pay now?
Yeah, you have to pay to play in a qualifier, right?
Right.
And you have to pay it each by. So I'll give you at the end of if you make it to the 4th tournament, you've paid $18,500.
Wow. I never knew that, Stan.
People don't realize that. So if you don't get exemptions, if you're just a really good golfer, right, it costs you that much. And then, you could get to the 4th stage and be knocked out and your $18,000 is gone. And a Monday qualifier, John, for Korn Ferry is $1,000 entry fee.
Yeah, the PGA, especially now, thanks, Stan, for the phone call, Marcus, the PGA needs to get involved with that. It shouldn't cost a kid who doesn't have $18,000 to chase his dream. They should have, there's millions and millions of dollars in golf now, especially with LIV.
Right.
That's fixable. I think it should be $100 to play in those qualifiers, just to pay the cost of the administrative fees.
Why is the first thing that came to my mind Tin Cup with Kevin Costner with all the little ads on his, shirt?
Yeah, that's the way it should be. Jorge, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, guys. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
It's crazy to think that 8 years ago was Kobe's last game. At the time, I was living in New York, and I remember I stayed up late to watch that game. So it's just amazing to see that 8 years ago, 8 years later, I'm going to be able to listen to it again.
Yeah, we're gonna play it at 3. Go ahead.
Oh, you're playing it at 3? Awesome. Okay, moving on to the Dodgers. I actually think the way that the NL West is lining up this year is actually going to benefit the Dodgers. Because we've seen in the past, when they're going into the playoffs, the #1 seed, and nobody has touched them all year, we haven't seen any success. So I think, making them fight a little bit and no longer be the boys of the summer is really going to help them out, and hopefully it'll make them get over the hump this year.
All right, thanks, Jorge. Marcus, do you buy that?
I completely agree. They're not really in playoff mode, but they are playing meaningful games, and it's been a while since they've had meaningful games in September, and, unless something drastic happens in the next 2 weeks, they're really going to be forced to keep their foot on the gas the rest of the way.
Danny, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Danny. Brian, hit line 4. Danny, go ahead.
Well, first of all, I love the show. Thank you guys for all you do. I actually have a fantasy football question.
Okay.
Other than Marvin Harrison Jr., who would you rate your second best rookie receiver this year?
Malik Neighbors, without a doubt.
Giants, right?
Yeah, the Giants. I don't love Daniel Jones. I think there are questions about him, but I think there aren't a lot of other good wide receivers there in New York, so they're going to load him up with targets. He's #2 for me.
Mitch, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Mitch.
How's it going, guys? Good show.
Thank you.
I was talking about USC yesterday. Besides that, I think a lot of these ex-Pac-12 teams are going to do well in their respective new conferences. Good quarterbacks and then underrated conference. And one more thing, the Dodgers have been hit with so many injuries. Who would believe that? Well, no one has been pretty much healthy the whole year has been Ohtani. He's going to win the MVP. 40 guys.
It's a good, Mitch. It's a good question. Do you think Ohtani, who's strictly a DH, wins MVP this year?
I do. I think he's running away with it. I think what he has done offensively, and even lately, he's sort of slumped. It's either kind of a home run or nothing for him. The fact that 40-40 is likely to happen this weekend. We're talking about potentially the first 45 guy in Major League history. even without pitching a single inning, I think he's the runaway leader for NL MVP.
Tom, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Tom.
Hey, John, guys, love listening to you. Long-time listener. Actually started listening with my dad way back in the day.
Oh, good.
But, yeah, just wanted to say everything happens for a reason. I heard you guys say that a little bit ago, and I just wanted to confirm that. Everything happens to people. Bad things happen. I lost my dad 3 years ago. My ex-wife left me, took my kids. So bad things happen. But as long as you're being kind to people, and like you guys said, those things are going to come around. So I'm hoping that one day my luck turns a little bit. But appreciate you guys and love listening to you. Thanks.
Oh, Tommy, I
so
can
much.
tell already your attitude's perfect. It'll swing back your way. Hey, there's an old saying: if your life is great, don't worry. It'll change. If your life is terrible, don't worry. It'll change.
Yeah.
Jimbo, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Jimbo.
Good afternoon, guys. So last year, I worked till 5, so I'm able to leave to the Ravine at 5:30. I was able to make it no problem into Dodger Stadium way before first pitch. I've left at 5:30 each game I've gone to, and I'm getting there by the first, second inning. Is this the Ohtani effect? Do you think this will change by next year, or is this how we're looking with the no parking situation?
Jimbo, every time we've had Stan Kasten, the president of the Dodgers, on here, he assures us that they are constantly looking at ways to improve that traffic situation. But, Marcus, it's a stadium on the top of a hill. It's very hard to, even though there's multiple ways to get in and out, eventually you got to get to the top of the hill.
Driving through residential neighborhoods to get to that stadium on top of the hill.
Right. So it's logistically, it's hard. The only thing I would say, you said you get stuck at work, just leave as early as you can. I know that's frustrating. Hector, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hi, Ireland. This is for Ireland. I got a question. Remember back in the day when they did nicknames on the back of the NBA jerseys?
Yeah.
For Kobe and so I got one way before that. It was Black Mamba. I put it on there, but I got stains on it, so I was wondering if maybe you could help me out with that.
What? Oh, with stains on your jersey?
Yes, I cannot get them out.
Hector,
I haven't worn it
do you
for
know?
over 3 years.
Do you know what the stains are? Is it like oil or dirt or?
There's like kind of ink, maybe. That's not oil.
Okay.
Maybe like ink.
I want you to go on Amazon and look up Motzenbachers. I know that's a big word, but just start typing it in. And they have, if you can determine what caused the stain, they have stain removers for everything. Dirt, oil, grease, blood, food, all of it. So just try that and see if it helps. I hope so. Jerry, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Jerry.
Hey, how you doing? This is Spoiler Jerry.
Hi, Spoiler Jerry.
Because you guys, you brought up the USC Texas game.
Right.
The game that used to irk me before that game was the Lakers in '84 against the Boston Celtics when they lost that series.
Okay.
That was a game that I could never just get it out of me, man. Then the Kings when they lost the Canadians in, I believe it was 2002. Now it's USC Texas. That game is the game that irks me the most.
Hey, Jerry, believe it or not, the year the Kings lost to the Canadians was 1993. You're 9 years off. And I think USC Texas was 2005.
2005. That was January of 2006.
Had you just gotten out of school?
I had been out of school for a little while. I was there.
I was there too.
I was at
with
that game.
Mason.
And I remember before Texas got the ball to score that game-winning touchdown, Lindale White gets stopped on fourth and inches. Lindale White gets stopped. I know for every night for the next week, I woke up in the middle of the night because I saw that play in my dreams.
You know what the most unforgivable thing about that play is? And I still bring it up with Sark.
Reggie Bush wasn't on the field.
Correct. And what Sark and Lane say, and they were calling the plays that year, say, well, that was our short yardage package. Reggie wasn't on the field all year. But in a game that big, if you send Reggie in motion, he takes two defenders with him.
They have to pay attention to him.
Right.
They have to.
And, that was a heartbreaking loss if you're a USC fan. Let's do one more. Felipe, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Felipe.
Yes, I just want to say, Ireland, you cover Laker games great.
Thank you, man.
What you're doing, Marcus. You do the Fantasy Live show, right, on NFL Network?
Yes.
Man, you do a phenomenal job, man.
Thank you.
And your insights are very, very good. A quick question: when will you be taking a quarterback in the fantasy football?
Oh, I'm glad you asked this. This is a good question. I'm in a 12-team league. When should I take my QB?
I won't think about a quarterback till the 5th round at the earliest. So
and
5th or 6th round.
Explain why. It's because there's so many good ones, right?
There's so many good, because most leagues you only start one. There are, 15 or so quarterbacks you can feel confident with, so you can afford to wait a little bit later. So I will tend to load up on wide receivers, maybe get a running back or two, maybe a tight end, but like the 5th round is the absolute earliest I'll think a quarterback.
Thanks, Felipe. Hey, so I have the 8th pick in my draft.
Okay.
It looks like I'm going to have to make a decision between Amon-Ra St. Brown, Justin Jefferson, and maybe Jamar Chase. Is there a clear leader in those three?
I would probably lean with first off, there's no really wrong answer, I think, specifically. Right. I would probably lean more toward Jamar Chase. I would rank them Chase, then St. Brown, then Jefferson.
Even though Chase isn't in camp, I shouldn't worry about that?
I'm not worried. I mean, he and Joe Burrow have a mind meld going on.
All right, what if I throw Derrick Henry into that mix? Because I don't think he'll be there when the draft comes back around.
Yeah, I think if you were really worried, if that's who you really want, I would target him there. I would tend to take one of those 3 wide receivers, and then there should be another good running back coming around you in the 2nd round.
Okay. Since both Marcus and I have been alive, and I'm a lot older than him, the Cowboys have been America's team. Has that changed? According to one of our close friends, it has, and you'll be surprised who he thinks is America's team now. We'll share that with you coming up. By the way, if you're a Laker fan, it's Kobe Bryant's birthday. Top of the hour, 3 o'clock. We'll play the last 3 minutes of Kobe's career, the call that Michael and I had. And it's my favorite game Michael and I have ever done, and we'll share it with you at 3 o'clock. Marcus Granson for Mason and Ireland, ESPN LA.
Really excited to see the new schools come into play at the Coliseum. Obviously, you're going to have Notre Dame to finish the season. That's always a special game. But seeing Nebraska showing up, Penn State showing up, LSU at the Collie, that's what I'm really looking forward to.
I think both programs, the men's football program and the men's basketball program, are moving in the right direction. And the women's basketball program at USC is going to be ranked top 5 next year. So it's a great time for the USC Trojans to be back on ESPN LA.
I'm really curious to see, what does USC football look like without Caleb Williams? What are the adjustments that Lincoln Riley makes? And what is the defense going to look like in the non-Alex Grinch era?
New conference, new quarterback, just really fired up on the football side. New head coach for basketball, so almost like a really new team, which is going to be awesome. And then returning to prominence for USC women's basketball, to be back to where USC women's basketball is. I'm super excited to see Juju in her 2nd year, but just the rest of the players continue to grow under Coach Godley.
This beautiful thing has been up since the first time SC was here. But guess what? USC is back! And once again, this means something for us. Pumped for this season. USC Athletics back on 710 ESPN.
This summer, get away in the Hyundai you've always wanted at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get the hottest deals of the season on many of our award-winning Hyundai models, which all come with America's best warranty. But get going, because these deals won't last. Add more joy to your journey at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now for a limited time, get 1.99% APR for 60 months on the Hyundai Tucson or Elantra. Hurry into the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Offers end September 3rd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Lowe's knows Labor Day calls for big savings.
Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, save up to $750 when you buy 2 or more select major appliances priced $396 or more. And don't miss out on 3 bags of premium 2 cubic foot color mulch for just $10. Shop these can't-miss deals before they're gone, because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 9/4 while supplies last. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
And it is Mason and Ottawa, your Friday afternoon. Marcus Grant, City Information, who I think is back Monday. Maybe. And don't forget, this afternoon at 4 p.m., you'll hear it on the radio. The ESPN LA Fantasy Football Draft Party at Hollywood Park Casino. Shitano, Cappy, Corporate Greg, myself, Kirk Morrison, plus Marcus Grant, who's literally on the radio right now, is going to make an appearance. Plus producer Lindsay Baseball. Don't miss out. Hollywood Park Casino, 4 to 7 p.m., the live broadcast this afternoon. Right now, though, Mason and Ireland with Marcus Grant and Johnny I continues on 710.
Thank you, Chris Morales. And Chris mentioned the guy's going to be at Hollywood Park. Marcus is going to join him. That's coming up around 4:15 when we get done with Super Crosstalk.
Ireland.
Yes, Laura.
I started thinking, actually, Brian brought this up too. How do you not have a sponsorship with Motzenbacher?
You know, it's funny you said that. I just looked. Somebody tweeted me, "What's the stain remover you like?" So I'm pulling it up. Here's how you spell it if you want to find this stain remover. It's on Amazon, but you can Google it. It's Motsenbocker. Motzenbacher's Liftoff. It is gold for removing stains.
I did Google. Yesterday when somebody asked you, I believe yesterday, I went online. I was like, oh, it's not that expensive. And there's so many different variations of that.
Yeah, the key is if you know what the stain is, you improve your chances by like 50% of getting it out. Because they have targeted stain removers. Yeah. They have a 1, a 2, and a 3. But it doesn't always work. Like Laura, you know the story, but Laura gave me a pair of pants that she got popcorn oil on.
Okay.
And I couldn't save them. I tried a bunch of stuff and I ruined her pants. So now I won't take anybody else's clothes anymore. I bought her a new pair of pants because I felt bad.
He did. He didn't need to, but he did.
Yeah, but I just felt bad because I was undefeated until I lost to Laura's pants. But try Motzenbacher's. It's worked for me more times than it has. I'd say 8 out of 10 times it works great.
Our sales team needs to get on that.
Yeah, I got to talk to Kate's about that. That's a good point.
Let me text him.
Okay, so for people who don't know, Marcus's other job, one of his many jobs, is he's like me. He's got like 17 jobs. Is you work for the NFL Network.
Yes.
Now, you and I are big football fans. Mm-hmm. It has always been accepted that, quote unquote, if we were on Password and I said America's team, you would say Cowboys.
Right.
Cowboys have always been America's team. That's always been their label. They lean into it. They play on Thanksgiving every year. So I was a little stunned by this. For people who don't know, I'm going to let people behind the scenes here. I'm really good friends with Colin Cowherd.
Okay.
We used to work together.
Okay.
And Mason's friends with him too. So I know Colin's working for a competitor now, but I still watch him all the time in the mornings. Mm-hmm. So I was watching Fox Sports 1 the other day, and he says that the Cowboys are no longer America's team, and I was surprised by who he thinks is. So I'm going to play this for you and have you react to it. Here's Colin on who he thinks the new America's team is.
Okay.
I am today declaring the Rams the new America's team. Yes, they win when America watches. They're the most rated franchise, the most duplicated franchise, the most copied franchise. Never in cap hell. They've changed the way you treat players, how you practice without pads. Players want to be here. They come to rehab their image and leave. And when they leave, they say things like, it's the greatest 2 years of my life. Cowboys, Packers, Steelers, you're never on TV in January.
Is he right?
That's not the team I would have come up with. I honestly would have said the Raiders might be closer to America's team.
But I'm a Raider fan. We don't win enough.
No, but here's the thing. Yeah, and I guess the winning does have something to do with it, but I just think the aura of the Raiders and the fact that even without them winning, everyone has an opinion on the Raiders.
Right.
You love them or you hate them. I think the Rams, there are obviously a lot of Rams fans. I think there are just as many people who are generally indifferent to the Rams.
Well, I will say this. There are 3 teams that if they come to your town to play,
you're going to be
their fans will take over your stadium.
Yeah.
And those 3 teams are the Steelers, the Packers, and the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders are close, and the Niners and Chiefs are coming.
Yeah.
Like if you've gone to any Ram-Niner game at SoFi, the Niners take over half the stadium.
Right.
But the Packers, the Steelers, and it used to be the Raiders. The Raiders, and I will say this as a Raider fan, we travel really well, even when we stink.
Yeah.
Like when the Chargers play the Raiders. Brian, is that Charger-Raider game to open the season in
It's at
Las
SoFi.
Vegas or SoFi?
No, it's in SoFi.
Yeah, it's SoFi.
That will be a Raider home game.
Well, it's interesting because obviously NFL Network's offices are right there at SoFi, and when I have to go into work on Sunday mornings, I can tell whose home game it is by the line of tailgaters out front. if it's a bunch of Rams, flags and gear, it is a Ram home game. If it is any other team, it is probably a Raider home or a Charger home game. Yeah. If it's Raiders, if it's Chiefs, if it's whoever the visiting team is for the Chargers, they are going to take over.
Well, we have a unique perspective on this because for years we didn't have a football team in LA. And so when we got the Rams back, all of a sudden I started to see this element happen. Like if the Packers come here, half the stadium green and yellow.
Yeah.
If the Steelers go anywhere, black and yellow all over.
Yeah.
I mean, they travel great. The Niners are getting there. The Niners, the last 2 Ram-Niner games, because so many people from Northern California migrate down here.
Yes.
The Niners have a great following base. And you're right about the Raiders. The Raiders always travel well, even when they stink. So I was surprised Colin picked the Rams. I don't disagree with all the points he made.
Yeah.
Sean McVay and Les Snead are great. Stan Kroenke's a great owner. But the Rams, if the Rams go into, they're in Houston this weekend. Half that stadium won't be Rams fans.
No, not at all.
If the Steelers went in there,
it'd be Steeler Nation.
and I'm Marcus, I'm telling you, for meaningless preseason games, the Steeler fans show up.
Yes.
And then the other thing is, Mason and I have a running joke. Mason's a Rams season ticket holder. If the Rams play the Cowboys, even in a preseason game at SoFi,
a lot of Cowboy fans.
Mason can pay for his season tickets by selling the Cowboy tickets.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, because Cowboy fans just will come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs are getting there. The Chiefs are starting to become the flavor of the month.
Well, I think the Chiefs, I think you could make a case for the Chiefs being America's team because they have a lot of those same things that Cowher talked about with the Rams. They are well run. They're obviously very successful. They're on TV all the time. And now they've gotten to a point where they're sort of the villain across the NFL.
Well, I was surprised. I asked you this off the air, but I'll bring it on. I said on the air last week, I'm picking someone other than the Chiefs to win it. I asked everybody here, who would you pick to win the Super Bowl if I only gave you one team? And you say I wouldn't pick the Chiefs. I picked the Ravens just because no team's ever won 3 Super Bowls in a row.
It's so hard to do.
You wouldn't pick the Chiefs
I
either?
would not pick the Chiefs.
You're the first one who hasn't. I've been like the only one. Yeah. Who would you pick?
I would pick the Bengals. I think they are close, and they seem to be the one team that is the thorn in the Chiefs' side. Kansas City seems to have magical powers over everybody. I mean, Bills fans are close to being in a straitjacket over having to play Patrick Mahomes. If there's one team that gives them problems, it happens to be the Cincinnati Bengals. Obviously, like with any team, it's all about staying healthy. But a healthy Joe Burrow, their defense is good enough. They have enough weapons on the outside in Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, etc. I think if anybody challenges Kansas City, it's them.
They have a Sean McVay disciple at head coach in Taylor. That's not a bad pick either. All right, coming up next. Every major sport has a draft. When people are coming out of college, coming out of the minor leagues, whatever, you have a draft so the worst teams get the best players. Could we conceivably eliminate the draft? Just get rid of it. One league is going to try it. We'll explain next. Marcus Grant in for Mace. I'm John Ireland, ESPN LA.
A quest for league.
There's nothing like NHL hockey, LA Kings hockey on 710 ESPN. Welcome to the family.
Brand new partnership. We're excited to have the Kings right here, the home of the Los Angeles Kings. And Trav, now I just need an invitation to go catch a game.
You have been giving you one forever. Now you have to
across the street. Now it's across the street.
Go Kings, go.
Go Kings, go.
The Kings are back on 710 ESPN. Believe it or not, I did pregame for the Kings 25 years ago. Damn, I'm old. Luke Robitaille, the rest of the Kings organization couldn't be more excited. Go Kings, go.
Go Kings, go. Nothing like live hockey. Nothing like seeing it in person. Nothing like watching it on TV. Nothing like listening to it on the radio. And we've got them on ESPN LA. Go Kings, go.
We're so excited. The LA Kings have found a new home right here on 710 ESPN. Can't wait to see you on the ice.
I want to congratulate the LA Kings. You are now on the greatest sports radio station in America, 710. And guess what? Now I get to be one of the ice girls at a Kings game. Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go.
With no leaks. Call Omer at the Waterboy Leak Detection today. 818-518-5055. Visit thewaterboyinc.com. That's the Waterboy Leak Detection at 818-518-5055. Talk to Omer. He's going to take good care of you at the Waterboy. Visit thewaterboyinc.com.
Hi, I'm Garth Blumenthal. When I started the Unstoppable Automotive Group, I was committed to making your car buying experience the best it can be. And now that our inventories are back up, you're firmly in the driver's seat. We're one of the fastest growing automotive groups in California, representing Mercedes-Benz, Audi, Polestar, Volvo, Jaguar, and Land Rover. To find the dealership near you, visit unstoppablegroup.com for details. We will not be undersold.
Unstoppable Automotive Group, building relationships one guest at a time.
Summer's just getting started, so fill your cooler with the smooth and refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. It tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea. And with a 5% kick of alcohol, Twisted Tea is perfect for the beach, the lake, or wherever you're hanging out and day drinking with your friends. Look for the bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon.
Come on!
From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns to turnovers and overturned plays.
After review, the pass was incomplete.
Nice! Let's go!
This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
And it is Mason and Ireland, your Friday afternoon. Marcus Grant sitting in for Mace, who I think is back Monday. Maybe. And don't forget, this afternoon at 4 p.m., you'll hear it on the radio. The ESPN LA Fantasy Football Draft Party at Hollywood Park Casino. Shitano, Cappy, Corporate Greg, myself, Kirk Morrison, plus Marcus Grant, who's literally on the radio right now, is going to make an appearance. Plus producer Lindsay Baseball. Don't miss out. Hollywood Park Casino, 4 to 7 p.m., the live broadcast this afternoon. Right now, though, Mason and Ireland with Marcus Grant and Johnny I continues on 710.
All right, and coming up in half an hour, in honor of Kobe Bryant's birthday, Kobe would have been 46 today. We are going to play the last 3 minutes of his career. We normally do it on 8/24, Kobe Day. But this year we're doing it on 8/23, his actual birthday, because 8/24 falls on a Saturday. And reminder that if you're free tomorrow night, come out to Dodger Stadium. They're honoring Kobe all weekend out there. And tomorrow night, 7 Showtime Lakers, including Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy, Michael Cooper, Byron Scott, Michael Thompson, Kurt Rambis, A.C. Green are all throwing out the first pitch at the Dodger game. I'm going to be there. I'm going to interview all of them on top of the Dodger dugout at 4:30. The first pitch is at 6. So if you're a Showtime Laker fan, head on out to Dodger Stadium tomorrow night. Dodgers and the Rays, they're celebrating the Lakers. Okay. Marcus, this is going to sound crazy.
Okay.
I know. But you're the perfect guy to ask. Every sport we love, basketball, football, baseball, hockey, the draft is a huge deal. The worst teams get their shot at the best players. It's how LeBron ended up in Cleveland. It's how Wemby ended up in San Antonio. It's how Shaq ended up in Orlando. But it's really unfair, if you think about it, to the players because, for example, when you got out of USC, when I got out of UCLA, we weren't mandated to go to a specific city and play for a certain team and play for a certain salary. That's un-American.
Yes.
The National Women's Soccer League is in a weird spot. These great women's soccer players, and our country just won the gold medal at the Olympics, are all getting out of college. And they want the National Women's Soccer League wants them to come play for them in either New York or LA or Chicago, wherever. But soccer's an international game.
Yes.
And if these girls were getting drafted by a team in a city they didn't want to go to, they just go to Europe and play for more money and avoid having to go to these towns they don't want to go to. So they announced this week they are eliminating the draft. Every player that comes into their league is a free agent. Now, I know this comes with a lot of problems, but could major sport leagues figure out a way to make this work so a guy like Wemby could go to the highest bidder? Now, I think you would have to have caps in the league or else everybody would go to LA or Miami, but could you eliminate the draft?
Absolutely. Because I'm with you. Drafts are un-American. We should abolish sports drafts as they are. Now, I think it's easier to get rid of them in the larger, more established leagues than, say, the NWSL. Where
How so?
Because you talk about playing in the NFL. If you want to play football, the highest level of football is the NFL. If you want to play basketball, the highest level of basketball is the NBA. Players are going to want to come to that league.
How do we keep the elite number one picks, the guy, Wemby, LeBron, those dudes? Wouldn't everybody just go to L.A., New York, or Miami?
We have free agency now, and not everybody wants to go to New York, L.A., or Miami. I mean, we have that. That exists already. We have a salary cap, first of all, that prevents.
So you have
teams
to keep
from
the
loading
caps.
up. You have to keep the caps.
And maybe
for
put
sure.
one in baseball if you eliminate the draft.
But also, like, you look around. Let's use the NFL as an example, right? If you are Shedeur Sanders and you're coming out of college this year after a year at Colorado.
By the way, he has to go to the Raiders. He's perfect for us.
Right? But here's the thing. The Raiders are a great opportunity for him because they've got two quarterbacks that aren't necessarily like if you're Shedeur Sanders or you're a top quarterback prospect, you're not trying to go to Kansas City. You're not trying to go to Buffalo. You're not trying to go to like because Kansas City wins, right? They're a very good organization. They're very well run. They're successful. You're not going there because they have a quarterback. You're going to want to go to some place where you can play. We have free agency now, and not everybody wants to go to a big market.
All right, so how would small market teams survive? For example, if you talk to a lot of NFL players, particularly black guys, they don't love the idea of going to Green Bay because there aren't a lot of brothers in Green Bay.
Right.
How would Green Bay get players?
I mean, I think part of it is being a well-run organization. I mean, and the Packers do a good job of that. Like, yeah, there's not a whole lot of racial diversity in Green Bay, Wisconsin, but the fact that the Packers are competitive, that they win, that they have history. I mean, how is it that they get talent now? They've signed, these teams are able to sign people.
They drafted Jordan
They do draft
Love.
well.
They draft well and they're smart. But I'm worried that if everybody is a free agent, okay, everybody, the really, really good players, the elite, but like the running joke in the NBA is the Lakers eventually get everybody. I have a standing bit that I do all the time where if we're doing all-time teams, I'll take the Lakers. You can you can have the other 29 teams. Okay, my starting lineup would be Magic and Kobe in the backcourt and a front line of Kareem, LeBron, and Wilt. And I'm bringing Shaq off the bench with Elgin Baylor and James Worthy. I could compete with anybody because everybody wants to live here.
Sure, but also the teams also have agency too, right? There's only so many roster spots. There's only so many guys that you can legitimately bring in and one, offer money to, but also get playing time to. I mean, at some point, the economics of it sort of work themselves out because there are only so many spots available. There are only so many places you can go and
to your point,
play.
One way to make this work, let's for the sake of the conversation we're having, so we eliminate all drafts.
Right.
We give every team in the league, whether it's NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, whoever, 2 what we'll call super salary spots. Okay, but you only get 2. So if Wemby and LeBron are both on the Lakers, Anthony Davis probably isn't going to come because he can get a super salary spot in another town.
Right.
What worries me about that is, so let's say AD goes to Miami, okay, and then they also take Giannis because Giannis wants to live in South Beach.
Right.
By the time you get down to the Memphis Grizzlies or the Utah Jazz, they're still getting great players, but they're getting the bottom of the
lesser
list
of the great
players.
Probably. I mean, it's certainly possible, but I also think what it does is it does force you as a front office to put together a better offer and to build an actual program as opposed to you can name the teams in every single league that are just sort of skating by and doing the bare minimum. And those teams will continue to be bad because you're not offering value to your employees. I mean, that's basically what it is, right? You are trying to hire employees. You have to offer them value. You have to create a culture, create a place where they want to come and play. And sometimes you can find that in the most unlikely of places if you actually put the effort forth to building a quality program.
Let me go big picture on you here. I think if we eliminate the drafts, we have to have a cap.
Yes. Without a doubt.
If I make you sports czar for a day,
okay,
and I give you the choice of eliminating drafts or eliminating caps, which I also think are un-American. I think people should be able to make as much as you want. Which one do you eliminate?
I'd probably eliminate drafts.
Just because that's easier to keep it competitive?
It's easier to keep it competitive, and I like the idea of labor being able to choose where it works. I mean, to your point, if I'm the number 1 medical student coming out of Johns Hopkins in any given year,
you're not being required to go to Cleveland.
I don't want to be sent to the worst hospital in America, right? Like, I want to be able to choose where I'm working.
And you can.
Right.
In your scenario.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I hope it works for these girls. But they have a unique element because of international soccer.
Yes.
There's nobody's leaving the NBA to go play in Russia.
Right.
Except the women that don't make any money.
Yeah, I mean, I think smaller leagues like this, I mean, I still don't love drafts, but like the draft in the NFL made sense when they started it because guys didn't necessarily want to play in the NFL. Like, this was a way to allocate and build rosters, and a lot of times the drafts were regional. You were trying to get players from your certain area that, would draw fans out because they were familiar. Like, now, everybody wants to play in the NFL. Like, it's easy.
Right. Okay, reminder, coming up in 20 minutes, we'll, in honor of Kobe's birthday, we'll play the last 3 minutes of his last game as it was called here on ESPN LA by Michael Thompson and myself. And coming up next, What's Up, Fool? Brian will get in here. Laura will get in here. We'll throw a bunch of stuff at Marcus and I. Marcus Grant in for Mace. I'm John Ireland, ESPN LA.
What's up, fool?
All right, George. Fantasy football season is here, and I got to be honest with you. I don't know what to do in the first round. Come on, help a brother out. Help me out.
I mean, listen, there's a few running backs that you can take, very few, because there's not a lot of running backs that get the full carries. But, wide receivers. How about like Justin Jefferson?
Okay, now, listen, if I can get Justin Jefferson, I'll take Justin Jefferson.
Well, but he doesn't have a quarterback now. Unless you trust Sam Darnold.
Well, I don't even know how to play. So listen, the bottom line for me is I got major problems. I don't know what to do in the first round. I don't know when to get a quarterback. Last time I played fantasy football, I took a kicker in the first round. I mean, I like kickers. What can I tell you? I like kickers.
I mean, all right, enough with this guy, all right? You know what you need to do? Go to Hollywood Park Casino, join me and this guy, and you'll draft better than both of us probably when it comes to our fantasy football draft party, all right? Julamea, back to you.
Thanks, Sedano and Cap. We're inside Century Bar and Grill. Experience delicious food and your favorite cocktails. Plus, an extra bonus for our fantasy draft players. Get a $10 match bet to play No Bust Blackjack. All here at Hollywood Park Casino. Park, party, and play.
By Dos Hombres Mezcal. It's fate. It's friendship. It's Mezcal. Dos Hombres.
Look at that. How do I follow that? I don't. So I simply say, take it away, Corporate Greg.
Corporate Greg is not here, but I am. All right, guys, and I will take it away. So there's a few pieces.
Okay, I think we got it back. I don't know what happened there. Brian saved the day. He broke the glass in case of emergency and got us back on the air. Sorry about that, folks. Good job, Brian. Go ahead, Laura.
What up, Hal?
Okay, well, I think there was sound playing in the background. Have you guys heard that? My bad. So let me set this up again.
Yeah,
so
start over.
I have a piece of sound that I want to play for you guys. It's about 60 seconds. And it's Patrick Beverley talking about Darvin Ham. So I'm going to go ahead and play it for you guys.
I'm in Vegas. I'm gambling. I see Coach Ham walk past. I ain't seen Coach Ham on a personal level since I left Lake. Coach Ham come up to me. What up? I don't even know his move. I'm just, what up? Can I get 5 minutes? I'm like, oh, okay. What up, Ham? Just want to let you know, Pat. I apologize. Like, oh, you know, as a coach, never supposed to apologize. Decisions you make is decisions you make. Why? Because you the apologize, Pat. You was right. What were you right about? We need to practice more. That we need to do more. Can't just win off talent. We need to do more. That we need to rep it. Gotta rep it. We don't have really time to practice our schedule. Coach, film it, rep it. There's ways you can rep it. Walk through it. Everybody's shoes untied.
And you were suggesting that, and he was.
No, it wasn't. He was. He just had a lot. He had a lot on his plate. First year coach. You got Russ. You got AD. You got Bryant. It's a lot going on. Fast.
Right.
So you ain't gonna listen to Pat Bibb. Not at that time. No, that coach, we confused. Don't nobody know nothing. Rep it. Yeah. And then fast forward, and you was right. If you don't rep it, your ass will be out.
Mm-hmm. And sure enough.
And then he hit me at the end. Was like, yeah, man. You got Russ' number? I want to reach out to him too.
Really?
I love that for many reasons. But my question to you guys is, how do you think that conversation between Darvin Ham and Russ would go? Because this seems like it went pretty cordial with Patrick Beverley, but Ham and Russ had their little gripes.
By the way, that's a great piece of sound. Darvin Ham is a great guy. I think, Marcus, had he been coaching any team but the Lakers, but I don't think that Darvin Ham is going to, he's not going to be one of these guys we never hear from again.
Right.
I think he's going to get another opportunity, and that's why. That is the reason why. I think that he's one of these guys that he's a good guy and a good coach, and he just was in a situation where you win or you get fired.
Yeah, I mean, look, coaching the Lakers, I mean, and you know this, everybody knows this, it is a high wire act. Like you will succeed or fail, and there's very little in between. And I think, because of sort of the reputation he had, the bona fides he had coming into that job, and understanding the perils of taking that job, I think you'll see him land. Look, he'll probably have to, kind of rehab as an assistant for a little bit before he gets another opportunity. But I'm with you. I don't think this is the last time we'll see him as a head coach.
Okay, we know we're having technical difficulties. Just stick with us. We're working on them.
We apologize, guys. There's some things kinks being worked out in the back. Engineers are legit working on it right now.
All right, what's the next one, Laura? Brian, is it you?
Brian, I can
What's
go.
up, Phil?
Yeah, I got you. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. We can hear you.
So, Amazon has come out with a new documentary series here. It's going to be called The Money Game, going behind the scenes of NIL with the LSU team, or the whole LSU athletics, following Jaden Daniels, Livy Dunn, Angel Reese, Floje Johnson. Interested in seeing they're going to go behind the NIL. So it's all going to be surrounding NIL and how this kind of goes about it. Interested in seeing a documentary about this?
I am. I actually think, and I like those 4 people they picked. Angel Reese is in it. Livy Dunn's in it. Jaden Daniels is going to be Heisman Trophy winner.
Yep.
Super interesting. I think it'll be interesting, Marcus. I'll check it out.
Absolutely. And I think, it's very well chosen. Not only the 4 athletes, but the school, LSU, in the SEC, where, with the football tagline, it just means more, and the fact that it is a big deal down there, and so the money is going to be huge. I'm very curious, because it feels like NIL is a thing that had sort of always been happening, now brought into the light, and what bringing it into the light sort of means for a lot of the former bagmen that kind of made a living by running cash sort of surreptitiously. What does it mean now that, this is all kind of above board?
Well, I'm fascinated by Livy Dunn because she is Paul Skeens' girlfriend,
yes,
the pitcher for the Pirates, and she's a gymnast at LSU. She's attractive. She's blonde. She's basically got a bunch of modeling deals. She's made millions
and
in
what
NIL.
I don't know is she actually good at gymnastics?
I don't know either.
No one knows.
I don't know.
That's a good question.
Yeah,
great question.
Which I think, or who she reminds me of, guys? Anna Kournikova.
Oh, yeah,
Anna Kournikova, when you're in poker and you get ace king in a poker hand, you know what they say about that? You got Anna Kournikova. Looks good, doesn't win. So I think that Livy is the next coming of Anna. She may be better than Anna was, but I think that's what we're looking at.
What's up, Phil?
All right, guys. So I've had a lot of sound this whole week, and I just want to play some because it is an F Friday. So Oscar De La Hoya has been talking a lot. And he addressed something that I didn't even know was a thing. And I'm going to let him tell you about it.
They're not fake abs. You cannot get fake abs, but it's called etching.
Okay.
So where the plastic surgeon goes in, it's kind of like a liposuction.
Okay.
But he etches your abs.
Right.
My abs are already there. I have abs.
Right.
They're already there. They're just etching it in between so they can just pop out and stand out more. That's all it is. Now it's up to me to keep these abs because I gotta work out.
Right,
I gotta eat right. So, I mean, they're mine. They're real.
That's a real thing.
It's a real thing, man.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, it's a real. It's like liposuction.
Right.
But they just etch the abs. That's it. That's
and so they'll be. So as long as you eat right and work out, you will have like an 8-pack.
Oh, they have a 12-pack.
You gonna be 75 years old.
Guys, did you guys know there was such a thing as etching your abs? Because I did not.
So weirdly, yes. Only because in the recent Drake Kendrick Lamar beef,
that consumed our lives for a couple of months. That was one of the allegations lobbed at Drake, that he has fake abs. But honestly, that was the first I'd ever heard of it.
I've never heard of it. Did you get the number so I can call him? Because I don't like doing sit-ups.
We need this because I got a 12-pack but of like beer running around here. I
Right.
wanted to make it look something else.
Yeah, and by the way, how is it different from any other cosmetic surgery, like getting a nose job or,
it really isn't.
We used to do, around here, it's not liposuction, we used to do a thing called cool sculpting.
Okay.
With
Ooh.
Dr. Grant Stevens, where they would it didn't replace working out, but it was for toning. They toned you a little bit better.
Okay.
And this etching sounds like the same thing.
I want that number
I'm
too.
looking at the picture, by the way, and it looks sort of unnatural. Oscar's
It does.
abs.
Think it looks a little fake?
It looks a little fake. It looks like
like spray painted on.
there's too many abs. Like they go too far up,
Uh-huh.
almost.
That's true. Maybe Mace can use this.
Mace is all about appearances. He may very well do it.
The summer shred going on.
Yeah, exactly.
What's up, fool?
All right, guys. In this news at the Fanatics Fest, we had a couple of legendary quarterbacks give their top 5 of this year. So Tom Brady and Peyton Manning both gave who they think the top 5 quarterbacks coming up this NFL season. They both had the same 4, and then the 5 is where they kind of alternated
Who were
here.
the 4 they had in common?
Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen.
Okay.
And then Peyton Manning had Justin Herbert as his 5th, and Tom Brady, I believe, had Aaron Rodgers. So who would you take on your list of 5 quarterbacks for this upcoming season?
I would put Matthew Stafford in there. Who was Manning's 5th?
Justin Herbert.
I'd put Matthew Stafford ahead of Justin Herbert. How about you, Marcus?
Oh man, they went Mahomes,
Lamar, Burrow, and Josh Allen. I agree with all those.
Yeah, those I agree with for sure. I would probably go. I think I'd go Herbert actually in this one.
Does he have anybody to throw the ball to?
I like Ladd McConkey, the rookie they got
Okay.
out of Georgia.
Joshua Palmer a good fantasy pick?
He's a late round sort of dart throw.
Okay.
At this point, but
That's a good way of putting that.
Yeah, I see Bryant. Brian seems on board with my Ladd McConkey.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a good year. To that point, too, Josh is he's their one more or less. But
So, Brian, I know that, Marcus, in case you don't know,
okay,
Brian boldly proclaimed, by the way, unsolicited. We
my God,
we didn't
Brian.
challenge him. He just one day said, we're on the air.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, if the Raiders finish with a better record than the Chargers, I'll cut off all my hair.
That's a...
And
yeah.
I'm pretty confident. I don't know.
think he's fine. What do you think?
I think he's gonna be okay too.
Thank
but
you, Marcus.
I mean,
Thank
you have a nice head of hair, man. Like I don't know that I'd be, I don't know that I would just like willingly put that on the line.
Yeah, we were all shocked by it.
That's the hard ball effect right there.
Let me put it this way. If the Chargers lose to the Raiders in week 1,
oh man,
Brian is going to be walking around here in a full sweat for about 18 weeks.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah. All right, is there any more? Or is that it?
I have one What's more. up,
Go for it, Laura.
All right, so Drew Bledsoe commented on Tom Brady as broadcaster. He said, I know that Tommy will work it to death. I will get kind of tired of his squeaky-ass voice, but I know he'll do a great job calling the games. Now, listen. Every time I hear Drew Bledsoe's name, it's somehow associated with Tom Brady, or he's talking about Tom Brady. Is there, let me ask this question nicely. Should he just, be quiet? Just, because every time he's talking, it's about Tom Brady.
Well, Drew was the number 1 overall pick in his draft.
Yes.
And he got $100 million, the highest paid player in the NFL for a while. So he had a career outside of Tom. But, Marcus, he'll be linked to Brady forever. Because him getting hurt, Drew Bledsoe getting hurt, is what opened the door for Tom Brady to be a starter, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
And, in fact, I had conversations with other people in the past, and we've decided the term getting Wally pipped needs to be retired because nobody knows who Wally Pipp is anymore.
By the way, in case you're curious, Wally Pipp was a guy playing first base for the Yankees. He took a day off. Lou Gehrig replaced him and then never left.
Never left the lineup.
Yeah.
We should be, make it a little more modern, and we should say you got Drew Bledsoe now, if that happens to you, because he got hurt. I think he did come back as the starter, but essentially it was Brady's job from that point on.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm okay with Drew Bledsoe. I don't hate him like it sounds like you do.
No, wait. Why I always gotta be a hater? I don't want to hate.
You just said you want him to shut up.
Well, because I feel like if he has something to say, okay, great. But every time he speaks, it's like, ha, Tom Brady, or Tom Brady took my job, or ha, ha. It's like, damn, dude, stay in your lane.
I mean, yeah, when somebody takes your job and then becomes like the greatest ever, I don't know. I feel some kind of way about it too.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. All right, that's it for What's Up, Fool. Coming up next, we will celebrate the birthday of Kobe Bryant. He would have been 46 today, and we are going to play for you the way it sounded the last time Kobe played a game at what was then Staples Center. My favorite game that I've ever called. We'll highlight it next, ESPN LA.
A quest.
All right, George, fantasy football season is here, and I got to be honest with you, I don't know what to do in the first round. Come on, help a brother out. Help me out.
I mean, listen, there's a few running backs that you can take, very few, because there's not a lot of running backs that get the full carries. But, wide receivers. How about like Justin Jefferson?
Okay, now, listen, if I can get Justin Jefferson, I'll take Justin Jefferson.
Well, but he doesn't have a quarterback now. Unless you trust Sam Darnold.
Well, I don't even know how to play. So listen, the bottom line for me is I got major problems. I don't know what to do in the first round. I don't know when to get a quarterback. Last time I played fantasy football, I took a kicker in the first round. I mean, I like kickers. What can I tell you? I like kickers.
I mean, all right, enough with this guy, all right? You know what you need to do? Go to Hollywood Park Casino, join me and this guy, and you'll draft better than both of us probably when it comes to our fantasy football draft party, all right? Julamea, back to you.
Thanks to Dono and Cap, we're inside Century Bar and Grill. Experience delicious food and your favorite cocktails. Plus, an extra bonus for our fantasy draft players. Get a $10 match bet to play No Bust Blackjack. All here at Hollywood Park Casino. Park, party, and play.
Technical difficulties, we appreciate you sticking with us, but in honor of Kobe Bryant, what would have been his 46th birthday, today's Kobe's birthday, here, as called on ESPN LA, are the final 3 minutes of Kobe's career. Enjoy. Kobe will bring it up for the Lakers. 3:15 to go in his career. Kobe dribbling left. One-on-one against Gordon Hayward. Kobe spins away from Hayward. Got to the rim. Elevates. Lay it up and in. 47 for Kobe.
Now we got to get him a three.
Here's Gordon Hayward with it. Hayward top of the key. Inside 3 minutes left in the game. Shelvin Mack with it. Crowd chaining defense. Three-pointer by Mack. Banked. It rimmed out, but Trevor Booker got the rebound. And the Lakers are now back on defense, and Chris Johnson gets away from his defender and lays it up and in.
Well, Kobe dribbles down and pulls up into a three.
If he hits a three, the roof might come off. Kobe has 47 points, 2:30 to go in his career. Kobe behind the three-point line, double team. Kobe with Gordon Hayward on him. Kobe shakes Hayward, spins him to the middle of the lane, drives to the rim, lay it up, and foul.
And he got a chance to get to 49.
To shoot two. If he makes these two, he would have 49 points.
Well, he's definitely going to get to 50 now.
With 2:16 remaining.
Kobe tonight, 18 of 46 from the field, 5 of 20 from three-point land.
The crowd cheering Kobe as he goes to the free throw line.
And nobody has left this building.
Free throw good. 48 for Kobe. He's 7 of 9 from the line tonight.
He's played 40 minutes at this point.
Crowd chanting MVP. Free throw. Good. 49 for Kobe. He's played a season-high 40 minutes. He has a season-high 49 points. And there are exactly 2 minutes, 5 seconds remaining in his career. Breathing heavy and obviously tired. Hayward dribbles left, down the middle, stripped. Grabbed by Randall. Randall gives it to Kobe. 1 point away from 50. Kobe dribbles right, down the middle, all the way, powers up, 50! Kobe has 51 points as he lays it up and in. Are you kidding me? 51 points on the last night of your NBA career? Who does this? Shelvin Mack traveling, and the Lakers aren't dead yet in the game. 96-90.
Who does this? Only one. .134 to go. Now, when is Byron going to take Kobe out? I think if he scores the next bucket, they should commit a foul and take him out. Even though this game is winnable, so you just leave him in? They're only down 6 with 134 to go.
That's a great question. I don't know.
I would leave him in until the last possession.
There he is. Kobe down the middle, pulls up, 15-footer. Good!
Yeah,
53 for Kobe. 96-92. It's a 4-point game. Everybody on their feet, including the Laker players. Crowd chanting defense. Gordon Hayward, top of the key. Hayward, three-pointer. No good. Rebound, Nance. Give it to Kobe. 1:05
He's looking to pull up
to
and
go
shoot a
in the
three.
game. 1:05. Three-pointer by Bryant. Good! Timeout, Utah. Kobe has 56 points, and it's 96-95 Jazz. Exactly 1 minute remaining in the game. They're going to look at Kobe's last three to see if he was behind the line. And everybody, including Jack Nicholson, is jumping up and down. You ever see anything like this?
Oh, this is surreal. This is like otherworldly. I mean, for him to, number one, have the energy to play like this at 37, and in a game that's competitive, and the game's up for grabs right now. So, you don't take him out. You let him play until the last possession and let him just stay on the court and just enjoy the ovation after the final buzzer.
Staples Center is as loud as it's been all year, obviously. And if you're just tuning in, where you been? Jazz 96, Lakers 95, Kobe Bryant has 56 points. You heard me, 56 points. And Michael, now 60, which he's only done 5 times in his entire career, is not out of the question.
No, 59 seconds to go. The Lakers will get another couple of possessions. You bet he can get there.
Kobe looks dead tired. He's played 41 minutes.
He says he's going to get up tomorrow and work out. You really believe he will?
Not after this performance.
So they're talking to Byron Davis. Byron Davis is pumping him up.
All right, here we go. Utah ball. Jazz lead by 1. 1 minute to go in the game. Kobe with 56 points on the final night of his career. Hayward has it. Left side, Shelvin Mack almost dropped it out of bounds. Mack, top of the key, Trey Lyles. Lyles back to Mack. Three-pointer by Shelvin Mack. No good. Rebound, D'Angelo Russell. Gives it to Kobe. Kobe has the ball. Lakers trail by 1. Kobe dribbling left, around a pick from Randall. Pulls up. Two-pointer. Good! 58 for Bryant. The Lakers lead by 1. If I wasn't sitting here, I wouldn't believe it. This is like out of a movie. If I turn this in for a script, no one would believe it.
His teammates are all falling down like they're fainting over there. They can't believe what they're seeing.
They trailed by 15. Kobe has 58 points, and they lead 97-96.
The whole world's tuning in right now. If people weren't watching, everybody's calling and texting all their friends. You better tune in. You're missing something special.
Utah ball with 31 seconds to go.
Their go-to guy is Gordon Hayward. So look for him to probably try to make a play here or set up a play for him to get a shot off. He's being guarded by Jordan Clarkson.
Kobe is guarding Joe Ingles, who is unlikely to take the shot. That's smart. It's Kobe, Clarkson, Nance, Randall, and Russell.
Ingles will take it if you leave him alone. He's a good shooter.
Trey Lyles has it in the left corner, guarded by Randall. Give it to Hayward. Back to Lyles. Lyles dribbles right. Lyles down the middle. Met by Randall. Puts it up, no good. Ball's loose. Lakers have it. Shot clock is off. Kobe's got the ball.
They got to foul him.
Brings it into the front court. They foul him, and Kobe has a chance to get to 60 and put the Lakers up by 3. Listen to this crowd.
They had a foul to give. So get the ball back to Kobe and make them foul him again.
So my bad, no free throws here. That was the first in the last 2 minutes. If they foul again, and Kobe has the ball again, dribbles right, and they foul him. So now he goes to the free throw line. If he makes these 2 free throws, Kobe has 60, and the Lakers lead by 3. There are 14.8 seconds to go. 14.8. Listen to this building. 97-96 Lakers. First free throw by Kobe. Good. 59 points. I don't think Utah's going to call a timeout. So after this free throw, they're going to try and play it out. Kobe's second free throw, good. He has 60. The Lakers lead by 3. Here we go. Utah needs a 3 to tie it. Hayward driving down the middle all the way to the rim. Lay it up, no good. Rebound grab. Kobe's got it. Length of the court pass to Clarkson. Clarkson at the rim. Slam dunk. Game in the refrigerator. And the Lakers are going to win on Kobe's last night. He's going to score 60. And I don't believe what I just saw. The Laker players have embraced Kobe as a team at half court, and the game is not over. 4.1 seconds to go in the game. And you talk about sending a guy out right. Wow.
Kobe embraces Shaq over there on the sideline.
That was an unbelievable night. And we do it every year. I'm glad you guys indulge me on this. I know it's a little narcissistic, but I Marcus, it's my favorite game that I've ever called. So we either play it since Kobe Day 8/24 is tomorrow. Mm-hmm. We either play it on his birthday 8/23 or tomorrow. And again, let me highlight that tomorrow the Dodgers are honoring Kobe all weekend, and tomorrow I'm going to be part of a celebration at Dodger Stadium where I'm going to interview on top of the Dodger dugout Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy, Byron Scott, Kurt Rambis, Michael Thompson, A.C. Green, and Michael Cooper. All 7 of them throwing out the first pitch. And I find it, as a Laker fan and as a Dodger fan, I find it incredibly cool that these teams keep coming up with ways to honor his memory.
Absolutely. It's funny you were saying, as you know, this was playing, and I'm scrolling through my Twitter feed, I saw a photo of Jack Flaherty walking into the ballpark wearing a Kobe jersey today. I mean, it's so intertwined. I said it earlier, like, if you were to poll everyone in Los Angeles, there are two teams that absolutely matter to everybody, and it's the Dodgers and the Lakers.
Yeah, it's great. And by the way, again, if you tune in the middle of that, or if you just want to relive it, and here's the real reason why you want to do it. If you want to see what I saw while Michael and I were describing the action, if you go on YouTube and you type in Kobe's last game, John Ireland, Michael Thompson, one of our listeners, a guy named Kevin Smets, took the time 8 years ago to take our call and match it to the Laker feed. Now, there's a lot of legalities here. One day they make us take it down, but right now it's up. Right now it's up, and you can enjoy it and watch it and share it with your family and friends. So hope you enjoyed that. We'll get back to our regular show coming up. First, let me tell you about ZipRecruiter. If you are hiring, it takes up to 11 weeks to find a replacement for a job. You don't have 11 weeks? Go to ZipRecruiter. You can try it right now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/LA. My buddy Ian Siegel, who invented ZipRecruiter, says we don't leave anything to chance. And that's why it works. ZipRecruiter can help you find qualified candidates for all your roles fast. How fast? 4 out of 5 employers. 4 out of 5 who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within 1 day. So go to that exclusive web address to try ZipRecruiter for free. ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Again, ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Marcus Grant for Mace. I'm John Ireland. More Mason and Ireland next. ESPN LA.
710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app. This fall, the new home of the USC Trojans.
The new home of the USC Trojans.
The Trojans are back.
The USC Trojans play on LA's mega sports station.
That's right. USC football, USC men's basketball, and USC women's basketball are on 710 ESPN coming this fall.
710 ESPN, the new home of the USC Trojans.
Exactly. In your way, and you're, for all intent and purposes, you're a newlywed.
Yeah.
That's some weak sauce right there.
You close the door.
You should rename your dogs Weak and Sauce.
Sedano and Cap every weekday after Mason and Ireland
on 710 ESPN.
Hey kids, Uncle Artie here from Pernia Law, here to tell you about a newer sponsorship deal with Matt Barnes, who has deep LA roots, former Bruin and pro basketball player for both LA teams.
If you're looking for the best possible results after an accident, call my guy, Uncle Artie, at Pernia Law. And there's never any upfront fees. They collect when you collect. And for the record, their win-loss record puts them in the top of the standings. That's 844-DIAL-UNC. That's 844-DIAL-UNC.
This summer, get away in the Hyundai you've always wanted at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get the hottest deals of the season on many of our award-winning Hyundai models, which all come with America's best warranty. But get going, because these deals won't last. Add more joy to your journey at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now for a limited time, get 1.99% APR for 60 months on the Hyundai Tucson or Elantra. Hurry into the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Offers end September 3rd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Small business owners, we know tackling your to-do list can sometimes feel like going 12 rounds against a heavyweight champ. Except that heavyweight's gloves are made of something hard, like diamonds. So when a new to-do pops up, you're like, I can't. I'm boxing my diamond boxing glove wearing heavyweight champ of a to-do list. At Progressive, we don't want to make your day any harder. That's why we make it easy with over 30 customizable coverage options, so you can finally land a knockout blow. See if you can save on business insurance in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliated and third-party insurers.
Dive into the Marvel Universe on the official Marvel Podcast. We're going behind the scenes with the creators behind Marvel Comics, the stars of the MCU, and Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige.
But if you want the real answer, if we're trying to get real on this podcast,
celebrate the legacy of your favorite Marvel adventures and characters. The official Marvel Podcast.
I think this show's going to be a real treat.
New episodes every Wednesday wherever you listen to podcasts.
And it is Mason and Ireland, your Friday afternoon. Marcus Grant sitting in for Mace, who I think is back Monday. Maybe. And don't forget, this afternoon at 4 p.m., you'll hear it on the radio. The ESPN LA Fantasy Football Draft Party at Hollywood Park Casino. Shidano, Cappy, Corporate Greg, myself, Kirk Morrison, plus Marcus Grant, who's literally on the radio right now, is going to make an appearance. Plus producer Lindsay Baseball. Don't miss out. Hollywood Park Casino, 4 to 7 p.m., the live broadcast this afternoon. Right now, though, Mason and Ireland with Marcus Grant and Johnny I continues on 710.
All right, thank you, Chris Morales. We think we have all of our technical gremlins worked out. We might have a couple left, but hang in there with us. We're working on it. Marcus, name, image, and likeness is something that I've always supported. I've always felt like the players deserve to get paid, but it is being executed with some consequences. Are you
Yes.
pro NIL or anti NIL?
Very pro NIL. It is the Wild West. It is a monster, I think, of the college administrators' own, I won't say of their own design, but it's basically because they let this go untended for so long that now they put themselves in a really bad spot.
Okay, so the biggest byproduct of the NIL era is that big schools are looking at players at small schools, and if they can play, they're coming and giving them a big bag of money.
Yeah.
And this is I'm going to play a clip for you here by a guy named Chuck Martin. He is the head coach at Miami of Ohio. And he had a really, really good kicker who he no longer has. So he was being interviewed. You know, one of those, hey, coach, tell me about your team in the upcoming season.
Right.
And this guy did not hold back. The reporter says something like, well, your kicker has moved on. And listen to what Chuck Martin says about said kicker. Here it is.
All right, special teams, lost your kicker. Carter McLaughlin.
He's at. We didn't lose him. He's at Alabama. We know exactly.
I understand.
We know exactly
that.
where he's at. Like you media people, it's all pretend. Like no, Alabama stole our kicker.
Yes,
they illegally recruited our. They illegally recruited our kicker and stole him from us. And like that's a fact. But that's but we act like it's not. We live in this la world. Like hey, let's not talk. I don't know why everybody knows what's going on. So yeah, Alabama stole our kicker. A couple other schools tried to steal him, but then okay. What's the question?
All right, so brutally honest.
By the way, I love what was the question? Like,
special teams. You lost your kicker. We didn't lose him. Alabama stole him. Alabama stole our kicker. Does NIL need to be tweaked in your opinion, or is this just a byproduct of what we're looking at now?
I think it could be tweaked. I think essentially what we're going to have to get to is that the universities themselves are going to have to start actually paying the athletes, because NIL is sort of a workaround that kind of allows the universities to sort of be hands off and let
they have a collective, so to speak.
Right. It's basically all the boosters that were doing this in the dark now get to come into the light and sort of do this whole thing. So I think there has to be tweaked for sure. But I don't know. My read on this is that Alabama didn't do anything illegal or
Yeah, he said illegally recruited.
Right.
Isn't everybody being recruited again?
They didn't do anything out of bounds. You're just a little bit butthurt because your kicker got taken away.
Exactly.
From you. That's all it is, you know?
Exactly. Well, I'll tell you another byproduct of NIL. I have a friend of mine who has a son that's a really good high school basketball player. He's a point guard. 10 years ago, every school in the country would have been chasing him. So because of my jobs here, I know a lot of college coaches, a lot of college basketball coaches, and most of them in California, but a couple of them outside of California. And so I reached out to 5 or 6 of them. I said, hey, long story short, this is a college fraternity brother of mine. His son is a point guard at this big school in Northern California, looking for a place to play next year. If you have any interest, I can connect you with the family. And all these coaches got right back to me. And they told me this, and I never thought about this. They said, John, almost all of our roster spots are going to transfers. And I said, explain that to me. This kid's a really good high school player. You could get him for 4 years. He goes, here's the difference. We know these transfers can play in college. We have college tape on them. And so we don't know. We think these high school kids can play at the next level.
Right.
But if we've got college tape on Marcus Grant, and he's out of Miami of Ohio, and he's killing it, and he played well against Ohio State, we know this guy can play at our level. So that's why, and then that's why Alabama went and got this kicker. They know he can kick under pressure. They know he can kick at the college level. So what's happening to these top high school kids, like if it's LeBron, sure, he's getting a full ride to wherever he wants to go.
Right.
But if you're a good player like my buddy's son, you are not getting the offers you used to get. You're not getting Big Ten offers. You're not getting SEC offers. You're getting offers to go play at small schools. And then, so it's a vicious cycle.
Right.
It's hard on these high school kids, but I don't have a solution for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't either. But I honestly had never considered that suddenly the good but not great players are sort of getting squeezed out. And
right.
And here's the thing: you talk about it being a cycle. It will continue, right? Because those kids will go somewhere. They'll play for a year or two. They will put something on tape, and then they'll probably use that to try to transfer to the bigger school that they maybe always wanted from the first place.
Right. I'll tell you who gets squeezed in this. I'll use the Russell Westbrook analogy. So Russell Westbrook went to high school in Lawndale called Lusinger.
Yep.
Really good player, but he didn't get a lot of college offers. And Jordan Farmar was playing at UCLA, and he elected to leave after his sophomore year, maybe his junior year, I can't remember. But Jordan agreed to leave, and that opened up a late spot. And Ben Howland went to Russ and said, hey, I now have a spot. You want it? And Russ said, sure.
Yeah.
And he turned himself into a top 5 draft pick. I think he got drafted 4th by the Thunder. And then had a Hall of Fame NBA career. That's not going to happen anymore because nobody would call Russ. They would use that roster spot.
On a transfer.
Right. On a kid they already know can play in college. So, but still, Marcus, I think paying the college players is the right thing to do. It never sat well with me that Reggie Bush made millions for the university, never saw a dime, and then had to give his Heisman back when somebody funneled some money to his parents. It didn't seem right.
I always said if you went to a college sporting event and, obviously the fans are paying, you're buying a ticket to be in there, but everybody else in that building is being paid to be there except for the people you came to watch.
To see, right. You're paid money to come see Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart. They're not getting a dime.
They're not getting anything out of it. But the coaches, the refs, the support staff, everybody else in that building is getting paid to be there except the people you bought a ticket for.
Right. So we're going to have to continue to, I asked you earlier, should they tweak the NIL? I think they're going to have to continue to fine-tune it.
Yes.
But I'd rather fine-tune it than throw it out. I think I think the players deserve to be paid.
This is a better system than we had previously, but there is room for it to be better still than what it is.
I always say there are certain things that I think I would pay a lot of money to keep even if they raise the price, like Amazon Prime. I can't imagine them pricing me out of Amazon Prime.
They're going to try, though.
Yeah, something happened in sports over the past 2 weeks that I think has priced me out. Something that I've always enjoyed and always liked. I'll tell you what it is. next. Mason and Ireland, Marcus Grant in for Mace, ESPN LA.
A quest for League's Cup glory just got
really excited to see the new schools come into play at the Coliseum. Obviously, you're going to have Notre Dame to finish the season. That's always a special game. But seeing Nebraska showing up, Penn State showing up, LSU at the Collie, that's what I'm really looking forward to.
I think both programs, the men's football program and the men's basketball program, are moving in the right direction. And the women's basketball program at USC is going to be ranked top 5 next year. So it's a great time for the USC Trojans to be back on ESPN LA.
I'm really curious to see, what does USC football look like without Caleb Williams? What are the adjustments that Lincoln Riley makes? And what is the defense going to look like in the non-Alex Grinch era?
New conference, new quarterback, just really fired up on the football side. New head coach for basketball. So almost like a really new team, which is going to be awesome. And then returning to prominence for USC women's basketball, to be back to where USC women's basketball is. I'm super excited to see Juju in her second year, but just the rest of the players continue to grow under Coach Godley.
This beautiful thing has been up since the first time SC was here. But guess what? USC is back! And once again, this means something for us. Pumped for this season. USC Athletics back on 710 ESPN.
Open or damage the structure of your home. Their equipment is advanced enough to listen to the exposed surfaces and indicate where the leak is occurring. They are widely used by homeowners, property managers, and even realtors to inspect pressurized water systems to make sure they're intact and functioning with no leaks. Call Omer at the Waterboy Leak Detection today, 818-518-5055. Visit thewaterboyinc.com. That's the Waterboy Leak Detection at 818-518-5055. Talk to Omer. He's going to take good care of you at the Waterboy. Visit thewaterboyinc.com.
Hey, it's Travis. And Slee. By now you have heard about our good friends at the law office of Joseph S. Normand.
When my son Bobby was in an accident, we called Joe and he hit it out of the park. That's why I trust Joe.
No insurance company is ever on your side. Anything you say to them can and will be used against you. Joe and his team will treat you like family, get you the medical attention you need, and the max compensation you deserve.
Call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com.
The law office of Joseph S. Normand.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
And it is Mason and Ireland, your Friday afternoon. Marcus Grant sitting in for Mace, who I think is back Monday. Maybe. And don't forget, this afternoon at 4 p.m., you'll hear it on the radio. The ESPN LA Fantasy Football Draft Party at Hollywood Park Casino. Shitano, Cappy, Corporate Greg, myself, Kirk Morrison, plus Marcus Grant, who's literally on the radio right now, is going to make an appearance. Plus producer Lindsay Baseball. Don't miss out. Hollywood Park Casino, 4 to 7 p.m., the live broadcast this afternoon. Right now, though, Mason and Ireland with Marcus Grant and Johnny I continues on 710.
And coming up in about 10 minutes, Game of Games. It's Laura's game. I think last time I played Game of Games with you, you won. Am I remembering that correctly?
That's right.
Have you won?
I've won a couple of times, although I've been on a little bit of a losing streak lately.
I think you won mine last week.
Well, so then if you won Laura's game, you're an early favorite in today's.
I think, John, you have I took out the sporting part of it, but I still think you have a good
slight advantage. We'll get, DeAndre's going to play. Bryant's going to play. We'll get that done in about 10 minutes. All right, hey, I got some more details about this thing I'm doing tomorrow night at Dodger Stadium that I want to invite everybody to. We're going to do it at 5:30 on top of the Dodger dugout. I think before I said 4:30. 5:30. You can get there at 4:30 if you want. The gates open at 4:10, okay? It's a 6:10 first pitch. On top of the Dodger dugout, at 5:30, they're honoring Kobe Bryant and the Lakers all weekend long. Today was Kobe's birthday, 8/23. Tomorrow is what we used to call Kobe Day, 8/24, his two numbers. And then they have a Kobe giveaway at Dodger Stadium on Sunday. Marcus, you just mentioned that Jack Flaherty walked in with a Kobe jersey.
Yeah, he's wearing the 8.
Yeah, the age of the Dodger players now, these kids all grew up Kobe fans. Yeah. I've even seen Shohei have Kobe stuff. So if you want to see this tomorrow, it's going to be on top of the Dodger dugout at 5:30. I'm going to interview 7 Showtime Lakers, all of whom are throwing out the first pitch. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy, Byron Scott, Kurt Rambis, Michael Thompson, A.C. Green, and our newest Hall of Famer, Michael Cooper. All 7 of them are going to be there on top of the Dodger dugout. I'm going to do it at 5:30. If you have tickets to the game and you want to get there early, by all means do it. Come check it out. If you don't have tickets yet, I'm sure there's a few out there. You can run down tickets. They're doing a Kobe light show tonight, the big Showtime Laker reunion tomorrow night, and a Kobe giveaway on Sunday.
You need to get there early. Sorry to cut you off, John, because they're giving away a Showtime Lakers shirt.
Is that tonight or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
So it's only, I don't believe it's to everybody. I think it's the first
it's always
40.
like the first 40, so
40.
many thousand, I believe.
Yeah, so you want to get there early because I heard they're a hot commodity. They're actually a nice shirt. And then on Sunday, it'll be the Kobe jersey, and it's also, I believe, the first 40.
For sure.
I love the jersey you have on. What's the story behind that?
This one?
Yeah.
So, I bought it somewhere.
Okay, but explain what it is.
So it's a Dodgers jersey. It has the LA on the side, but it has an 8 for Kobe, and then it has the KB, and I believe it has a 2 somewhere for Gigi, and then I have an 8
on the back.
On the back, 24. I'm sorry, on the back.
Yeah, hang on to that one.
I love this.
That's a cool shirt. Okay, Marcus, I mentioned earlier that it's tough to price me out of something. The things I like, I really like. Mm-hmm. And, I'll give you an example. How far would Amazon Prime, I think they're at $120 a year now.
Yeah.
How high would you, I'm assuming you have it,
I
right?
I do.
How high would they have to go before it would price you out?
I mean, I think so. At some point, because my wife and I both have our own accounts, at some point...
you guys got to consolidate.
I know. At some point, we'll consolidate, right? That's the smart move. But, we'll wait till it gets... I think if it got over 200, then it's consolidating. I mean, I think if they pushed it up toward 5, I might have to...
All right. You took me right where I want to go.
Right.
I am the world's biggest NFL Sunday ticket fan. I've had it since the very first year it came out.
Okay.
I think both Andrew Siciliano and Scott Hansen do great jobs. I know you work with Scott at the NFL Network. Mm-hmm. I had never seen Scott do it until last year because they kneecapped Andrew last year when it went from... Andrew used to work here, and I'm friends with him. And I used to joke with him. I said, you were just born to do this, man. Mm-hmm. I think he did every week until he got COVID.
Yeah.
And then Dan Hellie came in, and I know you know Dan. Dan Hellie came in and pinched it. He did a great job. But Andrew's just really good at it, and he was my guy on Sundays. That's how I watched NFL football for 20 years.
Yeah.
And last year I switched over to Scott, and Scott is equally as good.
Yes.
He is. Matter of fact, that's why the Olympics hired both of them.
Both to do the Gold Zone, which was great TV, by the way.
But so somebody sent me a note the other day, Laura, I don't know if it was you, that you can shop around to buy Sunday Ticket on YouTube this year.
Yes.
But if you go through the Apple app,
it's almost $700.
$678.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And then so I said, well, that's no good. And I went on my computer and I Googled, I typed in YouTube, I said, where can I get a deal on Sunday Ticket? Mm-hmm. The best I could find, and you guys are better at this than I am, was $500.
Yeah.
I think I'm out because I can still watch NFL Network and Scott because I already have DirecTV, so I can watch Scott Hansen do Red Zone on the NFL Network, and he's great at it, and I get to see every game, and I don't have to pay anything for it.
Yeah.
I think they priced me out. Did they price you out?
Well, okay, so this is where I get to, sort of brag on my side hustle here.
Yeah.
I get to watch a lot of these games just
because
by
you're there on
virtue of-
Sundays?
I'm there on Sundays, and just sort of through, working at the network, I'm able to sort of maneuver my way to see all of those games.
But for a guy like me who doesn't have your connections.
I don't know that I would pay. I mean, if I were on the other side of this, I would probably just watch whatever the games are locally.
Well, but even
it.
better, I'm just going to watch Scott.
Yeah.
I'm just going to watch Scott Hansen.
But here's the thing, if you buy Sunday Ticket, Red Zone is not included in that
So
price.
you're paying more.
Red Zone is an add-on to whatever the Sunday Ticket price is.
Brian, have you ever had Sunday Ticket?
Yeah, so the last couple of years, what me and my buddies would do, three or four of my buddies will get on and split the Sunday Ticket. And I think usually like YouTube allows 3 or 4 at a time where you can stream it.
Check IP addresses,
Right,
that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
and they may make you clean up. Laura, have you ever had Sunday Ticket?
I have, but it's been a long time because it's very expensive.
Right, and I think now, I mean, they're going to drive people to the bars. It's
that's what I did. So before I started working at the NFL, I remember like that a couple of seasons before I started working there, a buddy and I would pick a sports bar at random to go to every Sunday just to like see, what the vibe is. We found a lot of random team bars that way, but it was like a kind of a good way to spend a Sunday. We'd post up there just before 10 a.m. kickoff, and we'd hang out till like the end of the afternoon games.
And just so a little behind the scenes here, the NFL lost a big lawsuit involving Sunday Ticket where they're going to have to pay a huge class action number. So
Well, that
maybe
was actually dismissed.
Yeah,
on top of it.
they're fighting.
Okay, so it's still going on.
So they lost the case. They appealed to another judge, and then the whole thing was thrown out. So
all right, so
the
we'll see what
NFL's
happens with
sort
that.
of
But I
free and
wondered
clear
if maybe is those prices I described, were they trying to cover their bases in case they lose the class action suit? NFL prints money.
They do. So the purpose, at least the alleged purpose behind the pricing of it, is the idea of making it a premium product, because ideally for the league, they want to drive you to your local affiliates. They want you to watch
They're
it on
trying to
Fox,
protect their
on CBS.
broadcasters.
Because
Yeah.
yes, exactly. Because those networks pay a lot of money to show all those games every Sunday. So the league wants to protect them by forcing, look, if you buy Sunday Ticket, then you are a above and beyond fan. But I don't think they necessarily want the masses to have that, because then you're not watching your local CBS or Fox affiliate.
Yeah, it just I hope they realize that a lot of people, that's the only way we watch the NFL is Red Zone or Sunday Ticket, and if you charge that much, we're going to come up with other options.
Well, and for a lot of out of market fans, if you live in Los Angeles and you are from Pittsburgh or
Sure.
Miami or New York, and
That's kind of why they invented it.
That's
right?
exactly what it's for. Like, you want to be able to watch your teams if you don't live in that market. I would say this was me, who is a fantasy football geek. Like, Red Zone is great for that, because
Right.
you're just seeing teams score all day. It's perfect.
And you're
for
seeing all
fantasy
your
football.
guys, and
Yeah.
you know kind of where you're at. All right, coming up next, game of games. Laura's game today. It'll be Marcus, me, Brian, and DeAndre. We'll play it next. ESPN LA.
710 ESPN.
All right, George, fantasy football season is here, and I got to be honest with you, I don't know what to do in the first round. Come on, help a brother out. Help me out.
I mean, listen, there's a few running backs that you can take, very few, because there's not a lot of running backs that get the full carries. But, wide receivers. How about like Justin Jefferson?
Okay, now, listen, if I can get Justin Jefferson, I'll take Justin Jefferson.
Well, but he doesn't have a quarterback now. Unless you trust Sam Darnold.
Well, I don't even know how to play. So listen, the bottom line for me is I got major problems. I don't know what to do in the first round. I don't know when to get a quarterback. Last time I played fantasy football, I took a kicker in the first round. I mean, I like kickers. What can I tell you? I like kickers.
I mean, all right, enough with this guy, all right? You know what you need to do? Go to Hollywood Park Casino, join me and this guy, and you'll draft better than both of us probably when it comes to our fantasy football draft party, all right? Julamea, back to you.
Thanks, Sedano and Cap. We're inside Century Bar and Grill. Experience delicious food and your favorite cocktails. Plus, an extra bonus for our fantasy draft players. Get a $10 match bet to play No Bust Blackjack. All here at Hollywood Park Casino. Park, party, and play.
Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News and World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
710 ESPN.
And it is time for Game of Games on the #1 sports radio show in LA, Mason and Ireland. Game of Games. Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
All right, no Mace today. Marcus Grant in for Mason, but we are amply covered. Laura Romo has the game today, and we got 4 players. Marcus, Brian Cohen, me, and DeAndre Hawkins, D-Hawk from the next show. D, how you been? Oh, wait, we turned his mic on there, Brian.
Is it good? Are we good?
Okay, there we go. There we go.
I got to bring a little
Come
closer.
on, man. You know how to turn on a mic.
No, it was already on.
Yeah, it was on. Laura, we're working through some things today. Stay with us. All right, Laura, what do we got?
All right, guys. So in honor of Bennifer breaking up, we did talk about rings a lot this week. We joked and asked who would be getting their 5th ring. Would it be LeBron or J-Lo first? So this inspired my game. This is an easy true or false question, rings edition.
Rings edition.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're all engagement rings. I took out the sporting rings as I feel like you would have an advantage.
You got it.
Kate Upton became engaged to a baseball player in 2016. The model's 8-carat round diamond ring, designed by Anita Ko, is worth around $1.5 million. Is this true or false? We'll start with
Bryant.
True.
Marcus.
True.
D.
I'm going to go true as well.
Do I take my shot here? No, I agree. I think it's true.
It is true. It is
Okay.
$1.5 million.
All
right.
All right.
Everybody tied at 1.
It's like Justin Verlander can afford that.
Yeah. At least.
Well, you guys are going to, I'm just saying. Russell Wilson proposed to Ciara in 2016. He gifted her a 10-carat round brilliant cut diamond ring. Is this true or false?
Marcus.
I'm going to say false.
DeAndre.
I'm going to say true.
Brian.
Let's go true.
I'm with Marcus. I'm going false.
It is false. It was a 16-carat,
Wow.
not 10, okay? All right. Blake Lively's pink diamond sparkler, given to her by her hubby, now Ryan Reynolds, features a 7-carat oval cut stone set in a rose gold halo band, worth approximately $2.5 million. Is this true or false?
D.
False.
I also think it's false. Brian.
True.
Marcus.
I'm going to go true.
It is true. It's
$2.5
$2.5 million.
Who else got that?
Brian.
Brian. Okay, so here's the score. Marcus 3, John and Brian 2, DeAndre 1.
All right.
Here we go.
Serena Williams received a white oval cut diamond that sits at 17 carats. It cost $3 million. Is this true or false?
All right, this one's me. I'm going false. Brian.
False.
Marcus.
True.
DeAndre.
I'm going to go false as well.
It is true.
Oh, wow. Is Marcus the only one who got that?
Yeah.
Damn it.
I clearly know nothing about it.
Laura, how many are left?
I have 10.
Oh, okay, and that was like the fourth one, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I believe so.
Okay.
Kim Kardashian, and a tiebreaker. Kim
Okay.
Kardashian's third hubby, Kanye West, rented out San Francisco AT&T Park for his 2013 proposal. He popped the question with a 15-carat cushion cut jewel, which was worth an estimated $10 million. Is this true or false?
Marcus.
False.
DeAndre.
I'm gonna go true.
Marcus has yet to miss, but I'm gonna go true as well. Brian.
Let's go false.
Yeah, guys, it's false. It was only $4 million. It was only.
Run away with this damn thing.
It was only
5 for 5. What do you got? A secret side jewelry business?
I'm literally just throwing up shots in the dark right now.
Swag system. Okay, also, because some of these women have been proposed to multiple times, you will hear their names multiple times.
Okay.
All right. The $5 million emerald cut blue diamond marks.
Wait, who is this about?
J-Lo.
Okay.
J-Lo's first entry to. Oh, I'm sorry. The $5 million emerald cut blue diamond was given to her by singer Mark Anthony. It's 8.5 carat center stone and is surrounded by white diamonds. Is this true or false?
Marcus, I can't believe you're going to go 6 for 6, but true or false?
True?
Brian, you're next.
How can I disagree? Let's go true.
Sooner or later, he has to miss one, doesn't he? I'm going false. D.
I'm going false as well.
You're glad you did because it is false. I said 5 mil, but it was only 4.
All right, Marcus still has a commanding lead. He has 5. Brian and I have 3. DeAndre has 2. All right. What's next?
Jay-Z proposed to Beyonce with a 20-carat rock featuring an emerald-cut diamond and a double infinity band. The ring reportedly cost around $5 million. Is this true or false?
Marcus.
False.
I can't believe I'm going to do this 2 times in a row. I'm going true. Brian.
I'm going true.
D.
I'm going true as well.
You should have went false.
Marcus is good at this, man.
I said it was a 20-carat rock, but it was 24.
It was bigger.
It's bigger.
Wow. Damn, where are these guys getting all this cash? All right, you got 3 left?
I sure do. All right, let's go.
D, you gotta run the table here to stay in it. All right,
All right, here goes. So one of the 3. Mariah Carey's massive 35 given to her by her ex-fiance, James Packer, who paid an estimated $10 million for the emerald cut gem. Carey was engaged to the Australian businessman from January to October 2016. She sold the ring for $2.1 million 2 years after they split. Is this true or false?
Marcus.
True.
Brian.
False.
I gotta go false. DeAndre.
I'm going false as well.
Should have went true, man.
This is a blowout, man. All right, D, you're out. I'm out.
He's all right.
Wait, Marcus has got it like you only have 2 left, right?
I do.
Let's just finish the game, but Marcus is going to win. This is impressive.
Okay, so these last 2 are both for J-Lo.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah. Well, she does have 4.
She does have
4
a lot of
divorces.
rings. So J-Lo was given an engagement ring by Alex Rodriguez, who she dated from 2017 to 2021. The couple revealed their engagement in 2019. The ring that was given to her was worth an estimated $6 million. Is this true or false?
Marcus, you are 7 of 8. True or false?
False.
I'm tired of going against him. I'm going false. DeAndre.
I'm going to go true. I'm going opposite.
Brian.
Let's go false.
It is false.
Unbelievable. This is one of the most dominating game performances I've ever seen. He is Marcus Grant is 8 for 9. Would you date these girls or something, man? All right, let's see if we can go 9 for 10.
All right, again, this is from J-Lo. Ben Affleck first proposed to J-Lo with a 6.1 carat pink diamond ring worth $1.2 million. But he upgraded. Oh, is it feedback again?
Yes,
but he upgraded to an 8.5 carat cushion cut green diamond for his 2022 proposal. They estimated that this ring, that also features 2 white diamonds, is worth $5 million to $7 million. Is this true or false?
All right, Marcus.
I'm going to say false.
All right, I'm going true. There's way too much detail in that for that not to be true. Brian.
Same, true.
D.
I'm going to go with Marcus. I'm going to go false.
It is true.
Oh,
I have a tiebreaker if you guys want it.
let's do it.
Why not?
By the way, Marcus just did the equivalent of betting 800 in the World Series. 8 for 10.
I honestly thought you would have it because you like the
I do.
pop
I love all
culture.
this stuff.
Yeah. All right, here's
I'm
the
very glad
tiebreaker.
I'm married to who I'm married to because I can't afford any of these ones.
Well, this is going to shock you guys.
All right.
According to the website, theknot.com, what is the national average cost of an engagement ring?
Oh, this is good. Okay, everybody write something down or just come up with the number in your head. Average, right?
Average in the U.S., okay?
Well,
average in the
they
US.
say you're supposed to do like 7 weeks salary, but most guys are cheap. Okay, I wrote down a number. Brian, what are you going with?
30,000.
Wow.
What are you talking? Average
Allison.
30,000. Do you think everybody's a billionaire, Marcus?
I'm going to go. Wow, he said 30. I was going to go way higher than that. I'm going to go. I'm going to go $500,000.
What is wrong with you, Brett D?
I was going to go 15,000.
I'm going to go 2,500.
You're the closest. It's $5,500.
Yeah,
Okay.
guys, who can afford what you say?
Not me, but I thought
I think all these big numbers were just going to push the average
No,
up.
that's the reason
10 million,
why I
10 million.
did. That's the reason why I did like celebrity because I knew once I got to the tiebreaker, you guys are gonna go so above and beyond.
All right, Laura, answer this question. I know you will. Answer this question honestly. When you wrote this game, were you thinking Christian better step it up soon?
No, actually, no. No, I thought it was funny because we've been talking about rings and I didn't know what to do a game on. And I usually go based on like the holiday. And today was Kobe's birthday. And I felt like, A, I was going to cry if I did a Kobe game.
Right.
2, I knew that Ireland would have an advantage
In
all
a
the
Kobe
way.
game for sure.
So
Yeah.
I said, I can't do that. So I'm like, oh, what have we been really talking about and making fun of? And sorry, J-Lo, but we have. So I just went with engagement
So,
rings.
Marcus, the question we asked yesterday,
Yeah.
and it was a meme that was meant as a joke, but I want you to give me the actual answer. We all took it seriously, give the actual answer.
Okay.
Who gets their 5th ring? You know, J-Lo's had 4 divorces.
Right.
Who gets their 5th ring next, sooner? LeBron or J-Lo?
I think it's J-Lo.
You think she gets married and divorced before LeBron wins another
I think
title?
it's J-Lo. I mean, like right now, like it's tough coming out of the West. You know, you still got some monsters in the East you got to deal with. The Lakers are in a kind of a precarious position, but you know, J-Lo's out there always, you know, sort of ready for whoever comes next along.
Yeah, she is stunning in person. I've met her a couple of times. Yeah, she's like, I don't know how old she is, but she looks like she's 20. And I think she's like 50.
She's in her mid-50s, I
yeah,
believe.
She's a beautiful woman. All right. Hollywood Park Casino is where you will find George Sedano and Scott Kaplan. Brian, hit the super stager.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles.
KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk. Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason in Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk, presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
All right, we are trying to touch base with Scott Kaplan and George Sedano. We've been having some technical issues today, so we're working on that. They'll join us here in a second. But, Marcus, I want to swing back to the Dodgers, where I'm going to be this weekend and where you host the Blue Review every morning. Greg doesn't think they should give Walker Buehler any more starts. They think that he should either go down and do a minor league stint or maybe use him as a spot reliever because he doesn't think they're – and I agree with the second part. He doesn't think he gets a start in the postseason. But in the meantime, with all these guys down, with Yamamoto still down, with isn't Glasnow on the temporary
Glasnow's
injured list?
right now, yeah.
Yeah. I think you kind of need him to eat innings. Would you give Walker Buehler any more starts?
I think you have to, just out of necessity. I mean, all things, if everything were right and everybody were healthy, I think you could figure out somewhere to put him, whether it's in the bullpen, whether you send him down, whatever. But right now, you need him because you are shorthanded, right? You're waiting for Glasnow to come back. Hopefully that's not anything serious. Yamamoto right now targeting mid-September, so that's still a couple of weeks away from happening. Kershaw has pitched well. He's not going to give you length. Bobby Miller is kind of on the struggle bus as well, but you need somebody
Marcus,
to figure it
almost
out.
by default, Gavin Stone has become a postseason option, hasn't he?
He really is. At this moment, he's your number 3 starter in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's
After
Glasnow
and Yamamoto? Or Flaherty?
Flaherty right now, right? And assuming Yamamoto comes back, he's probably number 3, but right now, with all the guys you currently have, it's Gavin Stone.
And then the other thing I wanted to ask about while we try and connect with these guys.
Oh, we're
we got
connected,
him. Okay.
Jack.
There he
hey,
is.
there's Sedano and Cap. Hi, boys. How are you?
Total connection.
I love it. What's it like down there, Cappy, at the casino?
It's jam-packed, man.
Oh, we get a little bounce back.
We are getting a little echo. aren't we?
You sound good on our end, if that means anything.
Well, on our end, we're hearing ourselves twice,
well,
which to me, I think twice, if anything, is good.
Right.
Do you guys want to work on that, or you want to keep going?
Now we'll keep going. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah, we're fine.
We're professionals, John.
I love it. Now, is Sedano part of this live extravaganza today or no?
He is. I know you're very
Not really.
interested in Sedano's location. I believe he's parking at the moment.
Okay,
way.
gotcha.
Really?
Yeah. He
Well,
just called me.
Marcus is heading down there after this. We're making him earn his money today. And this is open to the public, right? This fantasy football event you guys are doing?
Well, the teams are set, but you can come down and party with us. Why not? Well, Cappy will buy you some tequila mandala.
Sure.
Is it a party,
my
oh
pleasure.
party?
It is a party, oh party.
There it
This
is.
is the summer tradition. It's our second to last summer event. Marcus, you were part of it last summer.
I was.
And then Friday, September 6th at Black Gold Golf Club is, of course, our ESPN golf class. Open to the public, the 19th hole.
What time does the Golf Classic actually tee off?
Well, it's going to tee off with our par 3 tournament, Mason Iron versus Travis and Sliwa. And then the tournament tees off at 10 a.m. The bounce back is really, it's a lot now. And then the 19th hole party will get underway. That'll be our final day, 4 to 7, and Mason Iron 1 to 4.
Because on Monday, September 9th, we go to the new schedule, which everybody's rolling back an hour. Travis and Slee are going to start at 9. Mason and I are going to start at noon. Sedano and Cap are going to start at 3. And then what do our mornings look like, Chris?
You've got 3 to 7 a.m. We get started early, Unsportsmanlike with Evan, Canty, and Michelle. 7 a.m., the man who's now hosting Sunday NFL Countdown, Greeny, 7 to 9.
Okay. Hey, by the way, Michelle Smallman, who's on that early morning show, is going to join us every week to help us pick football games. And Chris, I hope I'm not putting you in the spot here. I saw a thing that she broke up with the Rams.
Yes, the Roses bit. Did you see that?
Yeah.
This week?
Why did she break up with the Rams?
Well, she's a St. Louis girl.
Oh,
And I think she should-
really?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all you need to say.
There it is.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, if you're a St. Louis girl, you're a little jealous that they flew the coop, so to speak.
But I thought Evan and her and Canty, they did a good bit this week with her doing the Bachelor bit, except with football helmets.
Did she pick a team yet, or yet to be determined?
I believe they're teasing that for next week.
Okay.
Oh, there's Sedano. He was in the bathroom. Sedano. Ireland was looking for you. But you're going to get a big bounce back, George.
Okay.
Get ready for an echo.
Marcus, this thing they're doing.
Oh, my God, it's so bad.
At Hollywood Park Casino. is a fantasy football event.
Yes.
Is Christian McCaffrey hands down the obvious number 1 pick, or would you go a different way?
He is the consensus number 1. I mean, if you want to be outside the box, you can go somewhere else. But
who's number 2? Who would you take if you had the number 2 pick?
I was leaning towards CeeDee Lamb. That's more changed probably to like Tyreek Hill now, or I can make a case for Breece Hall with the New York Jets.
Breece Hall.
Oh, I have Breece Hall in one of my keeper leagues.
Yeah, Breece Hall is a good option there.
That seems to be one that everybody's like kind of talking about. And I say it like that because I was reading this one report because Marcus, I'm doing my homework, Jack.
Yeah.
You feel me? And apparently, with Breece Hall, he had a knee injury 2 years ago.
Yes.
Right? And so the story goes, as I understand it, that when you have a major knee injury, your next year back is not, like, you're not fully right. And why
don't we ask Dr. Clapper?
Okay, why don't we do that?
Get him on the phone.
Well, he missed yesterday, right?
Well, he's on a surfing vacation, actually. John, you should weigh in on this, what we did yesterday about Christopher. So Cappy and I...
Why do I have to take shrapnel out of the gate?
Because you give it to everybody.
That's true.
Cappy and I said that Chris is Brian Flores and we're all Tua.
Not John. I don't assault John.
No, all of us. We're all Tua and Chris is Brian Flores. Fair or unfair?
It's a little unfair in that Chris is nicer than Brian Flores. Chris does dress us all down. But I don't imagine Brian Flores. I don't know. Do you know him, Marcus?
I do not know him personally.
Okay, he doesn't seem like he'd be all that fun to go out with. Chris is fun to go out with.
That's true.
Okay, now that's true. That is
No,
definitely
but that's
true.
fine.
But on the other hand,
Did you not have fun with me last night?
I did.
With the Yachtly Crew boys?
We had an amazing
Oh,
time.
no,
We tied one
tell
on.
me about that. How was that?
Oh man, we got done with the show last night, and me and Christopher and the Yachtly crew, we all went downstairs at LA Live to
Craft by Smoke and Fire, our friend Josh, the owner.
By the way, we got that giant family plate.
It's called the Last Supper.
It's
A
unbelievable.
tomahawk shinano,
Ooh.
copious amounts of pastrami,
Right.
brisket, short rib,
Wow.
and a big sausage.
Oh,
Yeah.
gigantic, very spicy sausage.
It was spicy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really
thought-
spicy.
You
That's
may
a
make
very
me go
morbid
back to the
name, by the
bathroom.
way.
That's after all that. But
I thought, you're not supposed to use the name tomahawk anymore.
Well, it's called the tomahawk steak.
Oh, no,
I
that's
know.
not,
Oh, is
that's
it Lindsay? Is that because it's politically incorrect?
That's what they told us at Yamava.
No,
The Braves still do it, right?
I was
And
actually
they
thinking
use
the
a
name-
different. What do they
I was
call it?
thinking the
They call
name
it something
Last
else.
Supper
They don't call
seems
it
kind of more.
tomahawk?
No.
Well,
They call it
especially
That's
since
a
the
good point,
Olympics.
Yeah, we were. That was a little embarrassing. We were at Yamava last year.
And Cappy's like, you got this big tomahawk steak.
Right.
And they were
But-
like, we don't call it that.
Well, no, but like some of them did call it Some of them did call it the tomahawk steak, and then when they brought it over, they were like, "Hey, that's kind of offensive," and I'm like, "It is." Like I didn't know, like a total dumbass, you know.
Tonight
what I mean?
on Cappy.
Yeah.
It was delicious, though.
It was
when we
lovely.
had it.
It was wonderful.
Let me tell you something. The one thing about Yamava, although, obviously, it's only 90 minutes away, but it's the food. They would feed us really well.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, crazy.
Oh, my God.
Although I will just tell you this.
I mean, we ate 22 inches of hot dog.
That's true.
That's true.
Well,
I
You
know.
what?
I saw it up close.
Well, when we did the hot dog challenge.
The
We had
glizzy?
The
Yeah,
glizzy.
the glizzy.
I mean, technically, you did 10,
I did 10
and I did
inches.
12.
Yeah.
And then we had the guy that the week was that the same week we had the guy who was the competitive eater?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
did the play-by-play.
On both.
Yeah.
You know, the glizzy, the bit of the year. Oh, wait, never mind.
They never invited us back for the pho challenge. I was going to pho you so hard.
Dude, I wanted to pho you all day long.
I know.
You know. I did just have a lovely turkey burger here, though, at Hollywood Park
I had a
Casino
caprese salad.
that had like these grilled onions and an avocado.
Cleaned out
slice.
everything in there, so now I'm
Thank
hungry.
you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah.
You did really?
Now,
happened?
can
Had
you
to go.
guys
What's
can you
happening here?
guys see
That's
the
a Cappy story right
Yeah, you need an
there.
extra pair of underpants?
No, I'm good.
I got you.
I know how to clean.
Okay,
Oh,
you're good,
boy.
huh? Really? They got a bidet in back there? or
Maybe
no?
they do.
Maybe I'll go check it out.
Go ahead, John.
I just wondering, can you guys see the Intuit Dome from where you are?
Yes, it's right across the street.
Okay. So
Not
has
when-
anyone
in the building, but when you're outside?
Yeah, has anyone been inside it yet? Mason has.
I have.
Oh, you have.
I
What?
have.
So what's it like?
It's really, really nice. So
Wait, have you been in it finished or not?
No, it was still almost. I mean, it was mostly done.
Okay.
But yeah, it is beautiful. Like it's got the ring scoreboard like at SoFi, but for an arena. If it like technologically, it's out of control. Like it's, I mean, as Mason said, I heard him say, it's got the facial recognition, so you can grab and go. If you download the app, right, and it does,
Right.
you do the facial recognition on the app, it'll then recognize you on their cameras. And like it, one of the biggest things when I go to a game is now, you're always on your phone, right? So like.
Right.
They have charging at every seat in the building.
Does that mean that like you put your phone down and it charges, or there's
there
a cable?
cables?
I'm pretty sure you put your phone down, if I recall
So
correctly.
I got this new cover right here.
Same here. I get the same cover.
And this
Jack.
cover, like you put it down on like your like iWatch thingy.
Yeah, and it'll charge.
And it charges.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
No, not
So,
on your watch.
John,
I mean,
they
on
got
your
that-
magnetic, though.
Watch Prime.
John,
yeah.
their
Oh, is it?
suites
Check it out.
are not. It's you know what it looks like, John. Honestly, it looks like a modern day forum in a lot of ways
Okay.
inside the building. And what I would say is the biggest difference is they don't have like 200 suites like most arenas. They've got like 40 or 50 like incredible like lower level suites, like soccer style, almost like at SoFi, where they're like field level, right, court level, where they're humongous. And like they go really deep in, and there's like couches and there's all sorts of stuff there. They really have made it more intimate, is what I would say, compared to most arenas that I've been to.
Now, John.
Yes, sir.
There's the LA Times did a story on this older woman, and Cappy and I just saw the house. I pointed it out to him. When you get off at Prairie off the 405 and you're going up towards Century,
Yes, insane.
you see all this amazing parking structure, all this modern, and then there's this little house.
Yeah.
And she refuses to sell.
Yeah.
And she's right on the wall. They had to move the parking wall back to accommodate her home.
Yeah.
And you saw, Cappy and I just saw it, and her little dog's running around, and the LA Times mentioned it's just her and her dog in this house, and she refuses to sell.
Isn't this how the movie
So they
Up
built
began?
around her.
Right. But what did they offer?
I'm sorry, Marcus, what'd they say?
Isn't this how the movie Up began? Where like the old guy just wouldn't
pretty much.
Carl Fredrickson refused to move.
He wouldn't move.
Right. But wouldn't it be amazing, and maybe it was reported, what did they offer her?
I don't think I remember that
So,
being in the story.
They did this in Cleveland.
Oh, Cleveland alert, guys.
Listen, when they
Out of the gate.
Here we go.
When they expanded the Browns practice facility, they bought like the entire area around there, and it was like 40-something homes. They gave everybody like fair market value plus like 50 or 100 grand, right? This one little old lady that was, like you said, she was 96 years old. Right next to it, she would not sell. Finally, this
Did Riz do a show from her house?
he should have. He should have, but just like 6 months ago, she sold it for $500,000.
Wow.
She held
Good
out.
for
Everyone
her.
else, yeah, she got $500,000 for it.
That'll buy you a room in L.A.
Yeah.
But why would you? Let's say you're this woman that's living next to the Intuit Dome.
I mean, she had to deal with all the construction,
Right.
John.
Why would you want to live there now? You're going to have a bunch of yahoos in your front yard every night.
Because it is your home and you are comfortable and you are not moving.
But will you be
And where are
comfortable
you gonna go,
with,
John?
with 18,000 people in your front yard?
I don't know if you never leave
your
the
house is paid for. Where are you going to move
Yeah, if
to?
you're a little old lady, like,
Yeah.
why do you want to deal with all that?
Well, and here's the other thing, John. When I read the LA Times article, and then I think KTLA did like a follow-up, like a story on her, like on camera. And she talked about how she had to deal with the construction. Like they were, 7 a.m. or 8, whatever it was, they were like going at it. And it was impossible, like, to do anything in the house while the construction was
Can you
going on.
imagine how loud it must have been?
Well, that's what I was telling Chris. I also saw recently in downtown San Diego these two massive high-rise buildings, and in between was this little house.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, wait, you didn't want to sell, but yet you lived there for the 3 or 4 years that it took to build these two massive high-rises, and you're sandwiched in between them. I got to know what the number is. Like, did they offer her $1 million and she went, nah, and they offered her $2 million and she said, no.
No, there's no way they offered that much for that little house.
Yeah, but it's so in the way that you would think that the more she says no, the more they keep coming up with more money.
They probably just asked the architects,
Well,
like
you
Chris
guys-
said, can you build around it?
So you guys know the backstory on the Forum, right? So the Forum was owned by James Dolan and MSG. Ballmer announced that he was going to build the Intuit Dome. And immediately, James Dolan's lawyers tried to put up a cease and desist saying, we have territorial rights. You can't build an arena right next to our arena. So Ballmer called Dolan and said, what do you want for it? I'll buy the Forum.
Right,
And it was
he can't afford that.
Yeah, it was worth like at the time it was assessed at like $200 million. And Dolan goes, well, I'm not just going to sell it to you. He goes, well, what's your price? If you did, he goes, $400 million. And Ballmer said, done. And gave him $400 million for the Forum, and Dolan got out.
At which point Dolan's probably like, damn, should I ask for more?
That happened to me once. I was in a job interview, and the guy goes, what's it going to cost to get you here? And I said, well, geez, I'm not making anything now. Just make me an offer. I was trying to get him to give the first number, and he was smarter than me. And at the time, literally, I was at the beginning of my career. I was making $220 a week.
Where was this at, John?
Monroe, I was in Monroe, Louisiana.
Oh, yeah.
And I was going to Beaumont, Texas.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, and so I knew after a while it was a game of cat and mouse, and neither one of us were going to give a number. And finally, I really liked this guy, and I wanted to work for him. And I said, Clint, they're paying me $220 a week. Make me an offer. And he laughed. That averaged out to $10,500 a year.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
I could have made more working at McDonald's. And he said, how's $18,500 to start? And I was like Kramer on Seinfeld. I couldn't jump out of the chair fast enough. I leaped across the table and went, done! And that was it. But for all you negotiators out there, try and never be the first one to give a number. I failed miserably. But that's how Ballmer was able to build the Intuit Dome. James Dolan was going to take him to court and tie him up, and he gave him $400 million for the Forum. And by the way, guys, he's keeping the Forum. Ballmer's keeping the Forum, and on nights that the Clippers play, he's going to put concerts in at the Forum. So he's probably gonna get his money back.
Oh, he's gonna definitely get his money back.
I saw that he's got this show on CNN. Did you guys see this?
No.
Where he's got this thing where it's like America according to Bomber. Like he's trying to like educate everybody on where we are as a country and like just. I'm going to find out.
Well, I've seen him on Bill Maher. I don't know if you've seen him, John, or Marcus, or Cappy, or everyone. He's really, obviously, goes to say that he's really, really smart. But I think he's also incredibly relatable when he talks about things like that.
Right.
Well, you know that.
I find the name of this show he's got, but I keep seeing ads on it.
What was that, John?
By the way, George, you know that the guy that gave him the idea for the Intuit Dome, I put this in Game of Games last week, was his high school math teacher in Michigan. He's still friends with him, and the math teacher goes, you should just build a state-of-the-art dome and put phone chargers in every seat and put in a football scoreboard. And Balmer went, wait, can you write all that down? and he went ahead and did it. All right, coming up next, Hollywood Park Casino, Sedano and Cap. Marcus, thank you, man. That was fun.
Oh, good
all right, stay tuned. Live show coming at you from HPC, Sedano and Cap, ESPN.